SlipStream, the way to watch all the best club karting live and on demand. It takes just 1 minute to become a channel member and get your virtual SlipStream pass. Hit the join button on our YouTube channel and follow the prompts. Using an iPhone? Do this via Safari to avoid paying an extra fee. Channel members get early access to the Bump Draft podcast, as well as 7 days exclusive access to the event finals. Plus, they also get priority chats read live by our commentators, so you can show your support for your favourite drivers. It's a rolling 30-day membership and you can cancel at any time. Join SlipStream today to enjoy live club karting and help promote the grassroots of our sport.
Well, hello and welcome back to our SlipStream members then on Alpha Live's YouTube channel. And thank you to our SlipStream members. You have been supporting Alpha Live, which means you can watch this live action unfolding for our finals and our final stages of Trent Valley Kart Club with some of the best racers in the country. My name is Jake Peach and I'll be guiding you through some more of the commentary and racing action. If you were joining us through our heats earlier today and in the morning session, which of course just finished not too long ago, then if that's anything to go by and anything to follow, then we'll be in for some great action, of course. It goes without saying. So let's get on to our first final of the day, and because we have of course so many runners in Junior Road Tax and Senior Road Tax, a race 20 today is going to be the B final for Junior Road Tax. And here we are then for Junior Road Tax, and we'll go to the grids to see who has got the chance to make it through to the final and then take home the trophy later on today. Here at PF International, the top 4 will make it through to the final. So these top 4 paying positions are also important, particularly for our pole sitter, Odie Hole, for Dave Edwards Racing. Adam Judatis, Pierce Whitehead is in 3rd, Jaden Payne in P4, Isabella Stansmore-Wilson P5, Max Wheatley in P6, Harvey Sargerson and P8 for Callum Boot in the CPT Motorsport car. Joshua Robinson in P9 and Liam Dooling goes off P10. Be interesting to see how Liam gets on in the B final. I think this is going to be a great opportunity for him to find his way back up through the grid where he deserves to be. Harriet Mike Waldron also could be some great opportunities for him too. Hugh Hobson, Jay Singh, Jamie Riches, Molly Meisen and Jensen Evans, P16. Just trying to find our way through that. There we go. Elliot Smith P17, Austin Moff is in P18, Ted Hall P19, Riley Murthwaite P20, Ethan Guest, Hakeem Bart, who peeled off to the side in our previous races, Archie Thoman Evans and Oliver Barton P24. Rounded off by Charlie Ball, Alfie Skitz, Oliver Hutchings, Harvey Everett, Max Hall and Lydia McLaughlin P30 for Lucas Bamford Racing. So remember, top 4 places in this B final, and another chance for our drivers who didn't quite make the mould in our heats to get enough points to get through. Always think of it like a repechage, really. But the top 4 people going through into our Rotax finals later on. Who is going to come good here and make this advantage pay? Odie Hole going off a pole. Accidentally rhymes. Can she make it rhyme out there on track? Looks like we are away. It's a false start. Not happy is our race starter Nigel Edwards on the main gantry, who oversees the start procedure and making sure that everyone's got to be in line, everyone's got to be within the tram lines. And confirmation there, you can see the LED panels here with certain flags or whatever it might be for our drivers. They see them all around the circuit, including here into hairpin 1. Beautiful shots of PF International right throughout this weekend. Our race directors out on track here. Dan Ashton telling them to slow down and find their positions. Just the the reminders that a lot of our drivers would usually get of all of these nuances of karting. Opportunity to get some real warmth into the tyres. Look at the weaving going on there from Adam Judatis alongside Odie Hole on the left hand of your screen. And into another session then. If you're watching along, welcome to everyone on your SlipStream pass, enabling you to watch the final here of Trent Valley Kart Club round 3 and the finals of all of our classes. This is the B final for Junior Rotax right now, and Lillian McLaughlin just bumped into one of the drivers there, got a bit caught out. Are we going racing here? Yes we are. And is Odie Hole going to lose out to Adam Judatis? I think that Adam has jumped Odie into the first turn, and you can see Odie I think lost out quite a bit as well. Pierce Whitehead might have also jumped up the field from their starting position. And as they come off the bridge, look at that, look at the absolute acres of space that Judatis has got out front. So it's all change and all go from the start. As you might expect, oh, that's a very, very uncomfortable drive over the grass there for who I believe might be Max Wheatley in that machine further back. We're coming through then the couple of hairpins into the Mike Wilson complex for the first time in this race. Dirk says good luck to all the drivers. Come on, Adam, says Solveig Thomas in the lead of this one right now, and we confirm where everyone's ended up after this one. Oh, and someone's pulling off to the side there. Oh no, gutted. Had the opportunity to find their way up further in this race, and who is that? That is Max Wheatley, who we were talking about. So taking the grass that he did in the infield in the second straights, in the back straights, has caused too much damage for his car, and he's stopped on the start-finish straight. Oh, look at that opportunist move from Stansmore Wilson. Beautiful on the traction to find her way back up through into what I believe will be retaining her spot of P4, or even into third place. We'll find out in a second. Yeah, it was into third place, ahead of Harvey Sargison. So a great cutback manoeuvre there from Stansmore Wilson, who I think really off the back of racing this morning, I don't know about you, really deserves to have that place in the final and see what she can do. But Judatis, followed by Jaden Payne and Isabella Stansmore Wilson then, setting the pace out there at the moment. Jaden Payne up a couple of places off the start for the R1 racing team, and for Cato Motorsport, Isabella Stansmore Wilson up 2 places. But Ethan Guest has had an incredible getaway off of P21, up 10 places into P11 for Jack Dex Racing, and finding themselves in the prime position. So remember, eyes on the top 4. Ooh, getting a little bit sideways, caught on a couple of the wheels there. Odie Hole, who started this one on pole, finding their way down the field all the more, and down towards 7th now. Harry Mike Waldron is finding themselves in P6. A dive to the inside from the 37 there. Beautiful move from Liam Dooling, looking like went up the inside of Joshua Robinson for P9 as they come across the line in 5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. These B finals will have 8 minutes plus 1 lap, like our heats did in the previous session. Our finals will all be 10 minutes plus 1 lap for that extra bit of endurance for our drivers to navigate around here at PF International. Off the bridge section they go, coming down into turn 4 into the hairpin. Having a good old scrap behind, I think the likes of Dooling, and on your screen right there was Joshua Robinson back towards P10. And the gap though that Andrew Datis has got over Isabella Stansmore-Wilson, 1.1 seconds with 4 minutes on the clock at the moment. You can see on spectators having a look on the gantry, the viewing gantry. Also packed out crowds here at PF International. Judatis follows Wilson, Hayne, Sargerson, Whitehead, Myatt Waldron, Odie Hole, Ethan Guest, Joshua Robinson and Jamie Riches in P10, rounding off at the moment. But in these top 4 positions, it looks like it's going to be a fight then between Stansmore-Wilson and Payne and Sargerson. How close is Whitehead to Sargerson? Looking like it's all on the table here as all of these are fighting for position. 2-2-1 of Jamie Riches trying to stay up there ahead of Dooling, Hall, Smith and Thoman Evans, and they've got to get on with it if they want to be up in those top 4 places. They can't be getting caught up with each other like that and cutting the grass here at PF International. I think they've got other people to do that, but if the karts are going to do that, then I'm sure they'll be very grateful for it. Getting out wide in the couple of back straights. Not wanting to do that, but look at how much Stansmore-Wilson has closed up in that last part of the lap. And you can see, look at the fastest lap of the race of 59.19 for Stansmore-Wilson, which is a whole 4/10 of a second quicker than our race leader Andrew Datis managed on the previous lap. So Wilson reading him in, and down here the battle towards Odie Hull, down towards P7 and 6, and Harry Myatt Waldron for P5. Remember, the 4th place is also crucial. Looks like Pierce Whitehead has got about a 4/10 gap at the moment, back to Myatt Waldron in 5th. So coming through there on your screen, there's a 141, but there's Odie Hull going through on 141. That's for 6th place. Myatt Waldron in front for P5. So there's 3rd, there's 4th. There is Pierce Whitehead in that final position, with Myatt Waldron staring down the barrel of getting into the final here of the Junior Road Tax today at PF International. Off the Litchfield Bridge, there you go. Fronting down, there's a Jack Dex racing machine coming through there, of Ethan Guest finding their way up through the field. Ethan Guest had a fantastic race, 13 places up into 8th. Can this progress continue for Ethan Guest, who very much deserves to be up there given his performance at the moment? There's Ethan Guest, there's Hull, there's Waldron, and there's Pierce Whitehead. There is Pierce Whitehead, and the 127 in the red overalls has got a battle going on now between Harry Myatt Waldron, who is on the charge, who is trying to hunt down for that 4th place. In the meanwhile, you can see Jensen Evans and Joshua Robinson in the background as well, jumping up onto the inside. And there's Pierce Whitehead, has now got a company. He's going to lose 4th place here to Harry Myatt Waldron. There you go, there's the cut-off point. Harry Myatt Waldron is up into 4th. Pierce Whitehead drops back at the front. Adam Judatis with Stansmore-Wilson right now in the position to win this race with 17 seconds and a lap on the clock. There's Sargerson, there's Whitehead, who's got back through on Harry Myatt Waldron. I don't know how he did that. Oh, and who's that out of the race? Out of the action moment. Can they keep it going? I believe That's Jaden Payne. It's Jaden Payne for the R1 Racing Team in P8. So any chance of coming through the field and taking advantage on this final lap seems to be out of the question. But Adam Judaitis, Stansmore Wilson, Sargerson, Pierce Whitehead are in the points-paying positions at the moment for what they need to do. But Stansmore Wilson has taken the lead of the race. What a statement that is after this weekend, getting caught up in some battles in the midfield. Here in this race, she's showing her pedigree, showing that she deserves to be at the front and in command, in charge, as we make our way through the final sector now, soaring away at the wheel, keeping all of the grip underneath her junior Rotax machine. Coming through the Mike Wilson complex now, has got enough of a buffer behind if she doesn't make any mistakes. Judaitis keeping him behind, and she's going to do it. Isabella Stansmore Wilson takes victory here in the B final. Who's going to get third and fourth? It's going to be Sargerson, and just about going to be Pierce Whitehead ahead of Maya Walton. Close battle between fifth and fourth all the way to the line. Ethan Guest, a valiant effort from Ethan, up 15 places from P21 in that one. And Odie Hole in seventh. Jensen Evans, Joshua Robinson and Liam Doolin showing that he's got the pace as well on a day that suits him a little bit better as the points and positions go. Liam Doolin finishing in P10. Elliot Smith in 11th. Molly Misen 12th. Jamie Richards, Thomas Evans, Jay Singh, Lydia McLaughlin, Hakeem Bartz, Paul Barton and Skits. Solvigear Thomas says, good job Adam. Adam Judaitis there in P2, doing what he needs to do, doing enough. But Isabella taking home the bacon in that one, taking home the crown and making that all pay, and going through then into our Junior Rotax final race later on at near the end of proceedings. But there is also a lot of senior Rotax drivers this weekend, which means we need another race for them as well. So we're getting on to our senior Rotax B final. And making sure that our top four places have a chance to get through and get to a position that they will want to find themselves in to be in the final later on. Whilst we do that, there's a very special race in store coming up here at PF International in the not too distant future. Yeah, so Kartmasters, put that in your diary because entries are closing soon. It will roll around sooner than you think. It's one of the most prestigious events in karting, bringing drivers from all over the world to gain that coveted GP plate at the 30th edition as well. It's going to be a very exciting time and a very exciting year for Kartmasters here. But let's get on to your senior Rotax grid then, shall we, for this B final, and see who's got the chance to get through into our next round of proceedings for today. Jake Fisher is on pole position for Team Evolution. Dijon Bennett is in P2. Harvey Quick P3. Arthur Brownless, is in P4. Ruben Maylock, Molly Griffiths, Noah Gravel and Ilias Mufakir is in P8. Freddie Moore, Liam Morelli, Ruben Canoan, Isaac Ward, Benjamin Gordon, Samuel Kirkwoods, Charlie Robinson and Kieran Glanville is in P16. Rounding off by Charlie Dominokos, who had unfortunately that bit of an incident towards the end of their last heat. They went retired right to the back and found themselves where they do. So, as always, anyone's got a chance to make their claim in this one, including Molly Griffiths, who has been enjoying her time at Bayford Meadows recently, got onto the podium there at their local championship. So has got all of the nous that she could have at her fingertips to go off where she is in this one, in 6th place. So it's anyone's game out there. As always, in the B final is, you know, you've got the drivers that are obviously with the faster pace in the earlier races, but it's a great chance for those drivers who shouldn't be in the positions they think they should be in to be right up there. Are we going racing? No, we're not, because our race starter is not very happy with how they find themselves. Once again, it's a story of another half. I'll tell you a bit about some of the other runners in this B final. Jake Fisher for Team Evolution, involved with Wilton Mill Kart Club as well, competing in Black Club Championship this year. DeJean Bennett also, here a name that you keep seeing pop up on the UK kart circuit. Harvey Quick, 18-year-old driver, very much enjoying their time in Senior Road Tax. Hopefully they'll enjoy it a bit more if they do pretty well in this one, going off of 3rd place. And Ruben Mainlock, as a privateer, doing very well on this grid to be up there where they are. Noah Gravel, P5 in the B final last time out at TVKC. Can Noah improve on that position, starting in P7 this time? Are we away in racing? We are this time, as we hurtle down towards turn 1, and it looks like a retain of the lead for Jake Fisher for Team Evolution. Nice getting your elbows out and posturing there into turn 1 and finding their way through over Litchfield Bridge for the first time in this B final. Oh, mightily wide out on there, a kiss between those two cars, I think you could say. 3 wide into this corner. Ruben Mainlock involved in that one, and also further down with Benjamin Gordon, who's come up right through in that mid-pack and really finding the place where they feel most comfortable, and in their opinion they're looking forward to being in the top 4 positions. Take you through. So Jake Fisher, DeJean Bennett, Harvey Quick and Arthur Brownless, who started this one in the top 4 positions. Can they hold on to it? I don't think they can, because I think there's been a bit of change on the first lap, including a dive to the inside. Look at that from DeJean Bennett, up the inside, taking the lead in this one. So DeJean Bennett is in front of Jake Fisher. Just waiting for our timing screens to find their way through. But DeJean Bennett leads Jake Fisher. And then in 3rd place there, Arthur Brownless. And I think Harvey Quick behind, yeah. So Harvey Quick behind, and then Ruben Mainlock following along. Trying to find their way through. So DeJean Bennett, who has definitely been a name to keep an eye on in certain championships across the UK, and particularly in the kart championship as well, looking very, very focused, very fiery going towards the first couple of corners. And it's DeJean Bennett followed by Jake Fisher, Arthur Brownless, Harvey Quick, Freddie Moore, Molly Griffiths in P6. Elias Mufikir for Zip Factory Team in P7. Liam Morelli for CBT Motorsport in P8. Ruben Mainlock down to P9 now in those couple of laps. And Benjamin Gordon in P10. So Bennett, Fisher, Brownless and Harvey Quick right now are the drivers that are going to be going through. But how longer is it going to stay? How much longer is it going to stay like that? I'm sure it won't stay like that for very long, because look, the order's changing all the time. Fisher is leading the way from Brownless. DeJean Bennett now down in P3 in no sequence of corners. Freddie Moore holding on to P4 right now, and also with the fastest lap. Oh, and who's out of the back? Deshaun Bennett lost it. I don't know how, but I think he lost it through those last couple of corners on the curbs, and now he's got to find his way all the way back up through the field and try and see if there's any chance of getting into the next stages of the race. Sobig and Thomas said good luck to Sean and everyone. Unfortunately, I don't think that good luck has paid off on our live chat. And you can keep your thoughts and comments coming in. Look at all of the same liveries for these three drivers. A 14 Harvey Quick Brownless, Freddie Moore chasing after Jake Fisher in the lead at the moment, but as long as they stay like this, they'll be very happy because they'll be into our final for Senior Rotax of our final race of the day later on this afternoon. Look at our fellow younger drivers watching the racing action going on there and coming through. So now Ilias Rivakir has got quite a gap to close down. Oh, as I say that though, a mechanical failure has come up. What? Oh, mechanical flag. So the person in 5th place at the moment, who has a chance of getting after our 4 drivers at the front, is going to have to come into the pits and play no further part in this one. So that means Liam Morelli is now in P5. But look at the gap that Liam Morelli has got to make up to those runners. It looks like it's going to be a tall order for Morelli to be closing up on the back of Ilias, because Ilias is, or was, after the mechanical failure, 3.7 seconds off first place. Morelli's 4.6 seconds off, so it's at least going to be around about 3 to 2.5 seconds to catch up to 4th place if they're going to have a chance to do it. And I don't think Ilias has seen the mechanical flag. Oh, he's seen it now. He looks back, and that was possibly a bumper issue, I believe, maybe a chain guard issue. He looked like he was looking at his bumper and getting another mechanical flag. Needs to be careful because he could get a telling off from the stewards, although I think he realised as he was coming across the start-finish line, he saw the warning on the gantry as they come across the start-finish line, a digital board with his penalty, with his name, with the mechanical flag that he's got to come in. So looks like these 4 out front, Fisher, Moore, Brownless and Harvey Quick, are very much going to take the plaudits here, barring some miracle, into the rest of our finals. And yeah, look, there it is a bumper. And so unfortunate, really unfortunate, making such great progress, maybe clipped a curb too much or caught onto the grass. And that is how your race can change in an instant. You saw on your screen there the likes of Molly Griffiths, Morelli trying to catch up, but these 4 are working very well together. They know and they understand the assignment. No need, absolutely no need, with a 5-second gap between Fisher and P5's Liam Morelli. Absolutely no need to take any risks. Just bring it home. Even though that was a very defensive posturing move there from Brownless on Harvey Quick, who has the fastest lap of the race at the moment, but probably won't be too bothered by that. Just to give you some idea of the pace that they are setting. 57.25 Harvey Quick in P4 right now to a 57.8 further back. So there's a clear difference in timing and gaining of just tenths of a second all the time around here, further building that gap. These top 4, Fisher, Moore, Brownless, Harvey Quick, Morelli is best of the rest in P5 with Molly Griffiths, Ruben Mainlock, who had that unfortunate incident early on in the race, Noah Gravel, Benjamin Gordon, Samuel Kirkwood and DeJean Bennett, who is down in P11, well now into P10, is recovering, but it's going to be, I think, too much to ask to catch back up to any parts of play in this one and this race and the rest of his weekend. But showing that he had the pace out front to keep it going, we saw that for a good couple of laps. Looks like we're going to get, talking of a couple of laps, 2 more here around PF International with Fisher, Moore, Brownless and Harvey Quick. There you go, about 5 or 6 seconds was on the clock there. So just going to, I'd imagine, bring this home don't try and overdo it, and make sure that they're going through into the race that they want to be in, which is in the final with today. So Jake Fisher, with Wilton Mill Kart Club experience behind him this season. Freddie Moore, our 168 driver, a privateer, holding his own out there at the moment. Arthur Brownless, DNS did not start after Heat 3 in the second round of Trent Valley Kart Club last time we were here in the championship. So a much better display at the moment. And Harvey Quick showing that he's got the experience out there and the pace enough to stick with this group, all working together onto our final lap of Fisher, Moore, Brownless, Harvey Quick, and a 5-second penalty for Benjamin Gordon down in P10. Maybe that's for a little bit of a battle between DeJean Bennett. I'm not sure, didn't obviously see that happen, but we'll try and see. Jake Fisher patting his hand on the helmet. I have no idea what he was disgruntled about or something that's been said. I have no idea what he spotted out there, but maybe he's doing the old face palm because he can't believe how easy it has been to be out in the front of the lead here and bringing home the top 4 places. Maybe he wanted to see some more of his teammates coming through for Team Evolution, or the drivers he is close with on the grids. But here we are, Jake Fisher, Freddie Moore, Arthur Brownless and Harvey Quick are going to get through to your main Senior Rotax final at the end of proceedings today. And Liam Morelli in the end 8.5 seconds off the leader. Dominant display by a front 4 there, working together. Molly Griffiths, Ruben Maylock, Noah Gravel, DeJean Bennett, Benjamin Gordon, Samuel Kirkwood, Isaac Ward and Ilias Muvakir, who had that mechanical flag, that bumper issue, will be seeing no further part in their weekend, unfortunately. So those top 4 positions, all important for a packed Senior Rotax grid later there. Confirmation of Fisher, Team Evolution, Freddie Moore, Brownless for on the Tony Kart chassis, and Harvey Quick rounding off your all-important 4 top positions for Senior Rotax, the 21st race of the day, which you're joining us with on SlipStream. Our SlipStream broadcast brought to you and powered by Alpha Live. As you are a SlipStream member, you get exclusive live access to our finals here for Trent Valley Kart Club, as well as some of our other club championships across the UK. So that's our 2 B finals, a chance for drivers that didn't quite have the luck to make it through earlier. We've got 8 drivers into their respective classes going through into their final races. We'll go from now though into our first final of the day for trophy, for silverware. This is Minimax 950. Here we are, it's a fairly steady overcast day here at PF International in the heart of Lincolnshire, but the weather has mainly behaved and not caused too much havoc as of yet. But will it stay the same for the rest of the day? I'm sure many teams and drivers are hoping at the same. Some might be hoping for the opposite. Let's get to your grid then for Minimax 950 and see how we're all going to conclude proceedings today for this very competitive class of drivers and a very competitive field. So it's Mick Clinkers on pole position for the final, but Otis Cleary is there ready and waiting to pounce in P2 for Dan Holland Racing. Drew Davidson in P3, Jack Fulbrook Harmer, very impressive P4, having great results from those earlier heats. Jensen Sale P5 has been a bit more up against it this weekend, I must say, but equally can throw some great performances and surprises out there on the track. Eddie Duncan for Coles Racing, Akil Gioni in P7, and James Roots, who knows how to win round here. Can he do it for the final in P8? He's got some work to do. Flynn Grantham, Luke Millward up into P10, improving his starting places of the heats from P12. P11 is Thomas Lader, Teddy Murphy, Finley Bills, Freddie Blackshaw, Riley Blakemore down to P15 and Hugo Torpy in P16. P17, James Carver, Preston Howard, Dexter Petty, Adam Bart, Salahuddin Bayumi and Buddy Hugo, Dagger Sigerson and Alexis Tonikis is P24, Jake Hansford, Jack Hill, Rupert Thomas, Elliot Bork, who is the championship leader, may I remind you, at the moment, Charlie Heffer and William Davison, P28, to still be leading this championship. It would be a mighty performance if Elliot couldn't do that after this one. The last round winner, Jensen Sale, going off of P5. Can he pull off a fantastic performance ahead of Otis, ahead of Mick, ahead of Drew, ahead of Jack? Bring home the win in this one. Anything can happen. We've seen it today unfold in all of our categories, including Minimax. I must say as well, a driver that we had on earlier on with the red flag, they are okay, they've been seen to, and they'll be back racing soon, and we'll race here for the Minimax 950 final. Our race starter is happy with how that all got underway, and Mick Clinkers retains the lead off of pole position into turn 1 and through the bowl section for the first time. You'll notice in the left hand of your screen we've got more time to play with in this final. All of our races from now until the end of the day are going to be 10 minutes plus 1 lap. Jensen Sale already in on the action here, throws it round the outside, not quite doing there, holding on to position with Eddie Duncan, who jumped ahead of Jensen Sale at the start. So that's Eddie Duncan up into P5, Jensen Sale dropping a place down to P6. There is Eddie Duncan on your screen. It was the 57 of Coles Racing coming on through. At the front of the field though, for Sam Pollitt Racing, Mick Clinkers ahead of Otis Cleary in second place, who doesn't need a second invitation to have the chance to win this race. But there's going to be plenty of time to do it, but it will tick down very quickly. Look at the move here made for P4 though, out of P5 ahead of Jack Fulbrook-Harmer. It is Eddie Duncan making his way up to the 4th paying position, and there we are. So that is Eddie Duncan making some great progress already. Mick Clinkers has got Otis Cleary though, and Davison all behind him, but the two drivers working together already in the early stages of this Minimax 950 race. It looked like there was just 3 of them, but somehow Eddie Duncan has latched onto the back of them. So it's going to be a 4-horse race here in this group, and then further back you've kind of got Fulbrook-Harmer and Jensen Sale in their own group of 2, but it's now in just a couple of corners closed down even more. So now you've got a group of around about 6 drivers here. So Clinkers down to Jensen Sale, covered off by about 8.5 tenths of a second into the bowl section. Once again, it looks like everyone's being quite polite at the moment, unless you're further back there and you saw moves being made. I think that was James Roots and Grantham and Blakemore further back. Mick Clinkers, Cleary, Davison, Duncan, Fulbrook-Harmer, Sale, all working together, but Fulbrook-Harmer and Sale have fallen back off the group a little bit here, and it's become a 4-horse race now from Duncan up to Clinkers. Finding their way through a very challenging technical track, particularly in this 3rd and final sector here at PF International. Lots of straight though to play with, lots of top speed you could be getting out of your Minimax 950 machine. Mick Clinkers has managed to hold on to the lead here, but I don't think it's going to be staying that way for a little while. They're all being very polite at the moment about how they're going with their racing, and as I say that, there it goes, Otis Cleary up the inside ahead of Mick Clinkers to take the lead of this one, and now settle, he would hope, into the next couple of laps to try and get an idea as to what the challenge is going to be from behind. Can he build a gap? Has he got the speed underneath him to do that? The ability to do that? Eddie Duncan wants to put an end to that because he's gone through on Mick Clinkers. Mick has fallen down to P3. So falling down the order is okay at this stage of the race, but you don't want to be falling down way too far away from where you can be challenging in a few laps time, of course. So who we think is going to come out on this one? Who would you like to see be the Minimax 950 champion for round 3 of the Trent Valley Kart Club Championship? Get your thoughts in on the SlipStream live chat on our YouTube channel. Thank you for being a paid SlipStream member. It really does mean a lot to us. It helps us to bring even more grassroots karting to you, to the fold, and bring more club championships, more stars of the future to your screens. Of the racers of tomorrow, Otis Cleary, including being one of them, Eddie Duncan, Mick Clinkers and Davison. Now, Davison back to 4th, there's a half a second gap. If you go further back to Fulbrook Harmer, it's about 3/4 of a second. The top 6 are all within a second, and it's closed right back up again. It's ebbing and flowing in this race, and as one driver out front has the pace, settles in a little bit, maybe has to go a bit defensive at stages, and then another driver will take over and try and take the reins of a very fast group here who are setting incredible lap times, the likes of which are sitting in the 1 minute ones, around about that, not quite into the 1 minutes yet, but I think we'll be getting close to that in the next few laps as the fuel burns off, as the confidence builds in this race, as they get some clean air. Although if they're going to battle like that, it's going to take a little bit longer. Mick Clinkers goes back up into P2 and sits in a perfect position once again to be where he wants to be in this race, finding their way through. Otis Cleary then not really looking back too much, minding his own business out front. Duncan, Davison, Palmer, Jensen, Sale. Is there going to be some moves further back here though on your screen there? That is the battle for 9th in Teddy Murphy. There's still some great points on offer, right down to the top 10 and beyond to take into the championship. Leading the championship at the moment is Elliot Bork. How is Elliot Bork getting on? He is unfortunately down. He was in P21, he just dropped to P24. And he's falling down through the field. Has Elliot Bork stopped out on track? Our championship leader, I'm just trying to see where he's got to, because I just saw him fall right down, and as we talk about him, I can't see him out there at the moment, so it's a real shame. So you're almost certainly going to have a new championship leader at the end of this one and the end of this weekend for Trent Valley Kart Club's championship in 2026. And Mick Clinkers is doing his best to try and be that person, or just about held the defence on a knife edge there from Otis Cleary, and couldn't find a way up the inside with 2 and 3/4 minutes left on the clock with 1 lap to go. And there is nothing to choose between Mick Clinkers, Otis Cleary and Eddie Duncan. There's going to be a trying to switch back on the inside though from Eddie Duncan. Did he find any room up the inside? No, he's just probably let in Drew Davison and Fulbrook Harmer into the pack a little bit more, because it's Clinkers, Cleary, Duncan, and now Drew Davison, and Fulbrook Harmer is into P5. Here comes James Roots though. He did this in the heats earlier on today. He's in P6 right now, and James started this race in P8. He's finding his way through now. The pace is coming through to him. Have they set up that kart with the tyre pressures in mind to be fast towards the end? He's now in P5. He's 1.1 seconds off the lead. He can see the leaders, there's no doubt about that, but there's quite a few karts in the way of him to be winning this one ahead up towards Mick Clinkers, and a lot needs to go wrong up front for him to have any chance of taking home the victory in this race. Clinkers, Cleary, Duncan, Davidson and Roots. Roots has got to be on it for the rest of this race. Cannot afford to make any mistake. A warning for Jack Fulbrook Harmer down in P6. Got to be careful the way he's going racing. And the way to go racing at the moment into hairpin 1 is to hug the inside, defend that line, and then try and find your way through. Look at the switchback though. That's an incredible move from Eddie Duncan, who goes to the lead of the race whilst everyone in front, Cleary and Clinkers, are minding their own business. It's a textbook 101 move of what happens when your driver's distracted. And now look, this is the chance that people like James Roots might have to get up into the lead, onto the podium. It's a 5-second penalty for Teddy Murphy down in P12. He's obviously not going to like that too much, but he's got to deal with it. There's 5-second penalties out there as well for other drivers. And Pete, the number 32, looking down on here for James Roots. James Roots has got a 5-second penalty. I did not see that. That was about 3 minutes ago. James Roots at the moment in 5th place, so he's going to be out of this one. James Roots has got a 5-second penalty. Who else has got a 5-second penalty? Riley Blakemore in P8 at the moment, who's risen 7 places. So Roots might be in P4 right now. And in the mix of this one, there he is on your screen, chasing after Clinkers. Well, he's in P2 now. No, it isn't. P3. Yes, there you go, P3 for James Roots and Davison and Cleary. So Otis Cleary falling right out of this one. Mick Clinkers and Eddie Duncan then in the lead. He's got 1.2 second gap. How has he built that gap in the last few laps? Because everyone's been battling behind him. It's the final lap for Eddie Duncan. Can Coles Racing bring home another victory here? It's always close racing between our Minimax runners, and Eddie Duncan has proven why he deserves to be out the front at the moment. He has staved off all of the attacks in this race, and look at the gap he's built for himself. Out there, James Roots ahead of Mick Clinkers. James Roots might not be aware of that 5-second penalty, so it's a de facto, almost, I'd say, outside the top 10 at the moment, but he's battling hard all the while, making it difficult for his competitors around him. But it doesn't look like he's going to win this one. It looks like Eddie Duncan is going to come through and sail home with this victory, and that's going to send him all the while up to a perfect place in the championship. Eddie Duncan for Coles Racing comes on through and wins Minimax 950 here at PF International, and it's so close on the line on the road between Clinkers and Roots, but it's going to be Roots and Clinkers on the road. Jensen Sale recovered in the end up to P4. A good performance and good points for him for the rest of the championship. Fulbrook Karma finished on the road in P5. Riley Blakemore, Drew Davidson, Flynn Grantham, Luke Millward. A strong end to his weekend, finding his way up all the time into the top 10. P9. And Otis Cleary all the way down in P10. Found himself up in the lead. And provisionally, these are your results. Duncan, Roots, Clinkers, Sale, Fulbrook Karma, Blakemore, Davison, Grantham, Millward, Cleary, Murphy, Hugo, Gioni and Thomas Laidler down to P14. But those results are going to change pending penalties from race control. So we go from, well, our Minimax victorious driver today, we go from Eddie to our next race of the day. From Eddie Duncan, we go to our final for Micromax and Water Swift Restricted. And here we go for Micromax then. Who's going to take this one? The last round winner was Jayan Prakash, not here this weekend. Also, our championship lead at the moment is Harry Riley. Is he going to hold on to his championship lead? We shall find out very shortly. Lenny Barton, though, goes off pole for this one in the micros. Arlo Gamble, Jensen Darlow follow along. Felix Tandy, Kai Suri, Arthur Rhodes, Archie Gupta in P7. Let's see what she can do. Jensen Kelly in P8. The fifth row of the grid is Rudratap Sigawat, Kaio Vieira, Rafe Owen, who had that unfortunate off in the previous race. He's definitely got the pace to come through the field. Let's keep an eye on Rafe, shall we? Anthony Ray, Will Rainwright, Jack Gould, Lani Eden, Brady Atkin in P16, Harry Riley, Malachi O'Neill and William Hatton. And then your Water Swift Restricted is Logan Hodgetts, Charlie Kitchen and Arlo Poulter Goody. And joining me in the commentary box once again is Kieran Mogg. Hello, mate.
Hello, how are we?
You all right?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Before this race starts, can I just say, I love having a group chat with the Camerons because literally not even 30 seconds ago, a message from Cammie down at Turn 1, Johnny Morris, apparently it's raining.
Oh, no, don't say that. Oh, that's going to be fun. Well, they're definitely on slick tyres, because I can't see any grooves in these tyres. So how are our Micromaxes and Water Swift Restricted? Oh, going to get on. I don't think we're going racing.
Yeah, I think that might be a full start.
Yeah. I don't know what made you think that there, but
yeah.
so some of our drivers getting caught up with each other there. It gives us a chance to, hang on, talk about the weather. It's raining then, okay.
Yeah, apparently. So, yeah, he said it's spitting down there at the moment, and obviously, I mean, there might be a chance that that's the reason they had that down there. There we go, lovely shot there of the flag showing that it is a full start. So you're looking at your weather app at the moment.
I am, and I'm just checking, and the percentage likelihoodness is getting stronger.
Yes.
As we go throughout the next, I would say, 2 hours.
Yes.
So hang on, if I'm trying to work that out. So what are we right now? We are.
Oh, he's just messaged again saying just spitting ... at the moment.
20 past 3. We're at right now, and in 2 hours' time, are we going to be at our junior road tax, senior road tax finals when it's meant to chuck it down? I'm trying to work out. So it's 10 minutes per race, and probably make that 15 once you've kind of got in between them. 15 times 460 an hour.
That's too much maths.
It could be very close on the weather front.
Yes.
But we just don't know.
But like we were saying earlier, changeable conditions, it brings out the best in the drivers.
It certainly does, yeah. And this is where real drivers' car control and ability and skills are definitely on show. Yes, you can do it on a very hot, sticky day with slick tyres, but can you do it in changeable conditions, which looks like we might be getting here at PF International? Are we going racing? Yes, we are. Underway for our Micromax and Water Swift Restricted runners.
Oh.
And off into the first turn.
Gee,
that's not what we want to see.
No, that is definitely not. Okay, I think they caught up on the curve a little bit. Like he was saying, bit of spitting down there, maybe it's made this track a little bit more slippery. And obviously a little bit of an incident. I hope all the drivers are okay. I believe, actually looking at it at the moment from my commentary box window, it doesn't look like there's any stationary drivers.
No, I think they all kept going somehow. So they found their way through, and finding their way through to the front of the field is your 72 runner of Arlo Gamble and a Dan Holland racing team. So we'll see how the rest of our field get on there. That's Felix Tandy up into second place. So it's Gamble, followed by Felix Tandy. And then further back, I do believe it might be one of the Jack's Motorsport, might be Dan Holland, might be Arthur Rhodes.
I think it might be Arthur Rhodes,
Arthur Rhodes up into P3. So it's all been changed on the start of this one. No rain or slippery surface flags out on circuit at the moment going into the next turn, so we'll see how it all unfolds in the next few laps, and there's the lead.
Straight away, Felix Tandy is not wanting to look at the back of that 72 of Arlo Gamble. He goes straight past him into turn 1, into the lead of this race. Coming up through onto the bridge now, look at this train of cars already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the top 6 cars all here vying. You can see there Felix Tandy goes, right, we need to work together, we need to get away from this group of cars. Up the inside now, we've got the number 31. That is Rafe Owen trying to make his way up into 5th place. Where did he start?
He started further back, so he started almost, I think it was in the P11, and he's already now up into P6. So he's doing a great job to find his way back through the field, having been unfortunately pulled to the side. He had an incident, I think, in the final sector, getting caught up on the barriers in a bit of a battle. Talking of a battle, there is one. So Rafe Owen finding their way through the field. That was Lenny Barton on your screen, who has fallen all the way down from starting pole on this one, down to P4. Now 9 tenths of a second off the lead, and Felix Tandy looking pretty comfortable out there, Kieran.
Yes, definitely. He's just pulled a little bit of a gap. Like the other drivers behind him are fighting. Like, I mean, here you go, Exhibit A. That is number 31, sorry, of Wraith Owen and Jensen Kelly. Jensen not wanting to look at the back of Wraith Owen cars at all. So since Wraith has got past, Jensen's kind of been looking left, right, and centre. But you can see here, look at the gap that Felix Tandy's already starting to pull, and in the process of this, Arthur Rhodes now looking at the back of Arlo Gamble, trying to find a way past. You see there that Arlo Gamble is going straight to the defensive line into that first hairpin. I'm not sure how much Eddie Barton is actually trying to overtake there, because if he was trying to overtake, I feel like he would be a little bit more aggressive with the way that he's moving into the corner. It almost looks like he's trying to, come on, let's work together. Felix is getting away from us. We don't want this to happen this early in the race. Yes, we've still got just under 7 minutes remaining of this race, but that's going to disappear very, very quickly.
It's so early as well to be going that defensive. I mean, we've got 6.5 minutes on the clock, and there's plenty that can unfold in this one. And if you back the pack up too early, obviously you can only hamper yourself. So I think when Lenny Barton is signalling to Arlo Gamble, what you're doing, mate, why are you holding this up? We need to keep on after. That's exactly what they should be doing. There's definitely spots of rain, and now we see the slippery surface flags. This could all change so much. It's now going to test the mettle of our drivers, and look how slippery and catching the back end there was Felix Tandy off the Litchfield Bridge. It's looking like it's only sector 1 that's an issue at the moment, although coming into hairpin 1 there, it looked like the braking was a little bit more difficult than it has been on the previous lap. As you can see here, they're soaring at the wheel a little bit more steering lock going in, the steering input into these Micromax machines, and I don't think it's going to be staying very simple for the next couple of laps, although it's thinking about raining. It's not too sure. It's sprinkling at the moment.
It is a little bit. We've got some rain on the camera here down at Bobby Game Complex. We've also got the spots of rain on our commentary box window. And you've got to feel for Felix Tandy here, because he's going to be going into these corners for the first time. He's going to basically be the guinea pig of where the grip is. And so all the drivers behind him can watch what he's doing and kind of go, right, well, he's got grip there, so we'll follow him. Or he's made a mistake there, there's no grip, we won't do that then. And so you can see there that Lenny Barton is trying to capitalise on that. He is following quite closely. I think he's closed the gap a little bit compared to where we were before. But I just want to say, Will Wainwright, I don't know where he started, but he just seems to have appeared from
He started
nowhere.
in P13.
Okay, so he's currently in P6.
Yeah.
He just seems to clearly like these conditions. And we always say, rain is the great equaliser. It brings out the great drivers from the good drivers. And you'll see people that tend to prefer this type of running. Also, what's an interesting point is we were speaking earlier about setup on these carts. Obviously, they're going to have set them up for the dry running because most of it is dry. But what the inside there goes to number 17 of Kaisuri. Is that Jensen Kelly, I believe? No, it was, sorry, I do apologise. That was Wraith Owen. So Wraith Owen dropping a couple places further down. Yes, the setup. So it's like, do you think they would have, with the potential of the rain, made a couple of changes about it? So there we go. Will Wainwright going past Jensen Kelly now up into 5th place. So he's definitely making some moves right there in I think he's at 4th place now, I believe, closing on the back of these two.
Yeah, it looks like a very greasy surface, slightly out there at the moment. I think it's just about remaining dry enough. It's flirting today. It very much is flirting in this stage of the race. However, once the carts have done a couple of laps over it, it will go dry again in these kind of conditions. But yeah, you just never know with the setup. I mean, there might be some drivers that naturally like that softer setup and maybe want a bit more of the front end to grip a bit sooner. And some drivers might want the kart to come towards them, as we talk about a lot in karting, towards the end of the race. And just naturally, without even thinking about it, the setup that they do have in the conditions they've got is a happy accident. It just sort of comes towards them. But I'm sure there is a bit of method to the madness as well.
Yes, absolutely. We just saw a great clip there, I think, of Will Wainwright just stuck on the back of Arlo Gamble, who's just overtaking Arthur Rhodes at the moment into turn 1. Coming down the straight, you can see Arlo Gamble look over his shoulder, have a quick check at Will Wainwright. And Will, he didn't need to use any gestures. He was just completely laser focused on the back of Arlo Gamble. And it was a very, very clear indication of we're not fighting, we are working together here at the moment. In this stage of the race, we've got 2.5 minutes still remaining. I think at that point it was 3 minutes remaining. We've still got a couple of minutes remaining. Let's work together. That gap was closed. That gap was extending. That gap has now, as we can see on screen here, closed right up. And even though Felix Tandy is a good 1.5 seconds up the road, this fantastic pack here we've got for second place of Lenny Barton, Arlo Gamble, Arthur Rhodes and Will Wainwright are now going to think, right, we've got to either work together now to catch Felix Tandy, because if we don't start right now, we're not going to catch him.
Yeah, because there's 2 minutes to go, and I mean, if you were a betting man looking at things at the moment, it's going to be pretty hard to catch unless you might be a fast charging Jensen Darlow, but you're 3.5 seconds off the lead and you're probably a 2-bit far back. Yes, you're going to need the teamwork for Lenny Barton and Arlo Gamble and Rhodes to work together, but I'd say even they're a little bit too far off the mix at the moment. Look at the absolute sea of space between Barton and between Gamble, and it looks like now, even with 1.5 minutes on the clock, Barton is trying to hold himself in P2, but for third place, Gamble and Wainwright looks like they want to have their own battle for the final step on the podium. They think this race is done.
I think they might be right, to be honest, because if you're Lenny Barton and Arlo Gamble, you're looking ahead going, look at this big gap. Whereas if you're if you're Wainwright and Rhodes, you're kind of going, we're still behind you two. We've got you two to pass and then a big gap to catch. So I don't think this is going to happen. They've got 1 minute left of this gap. Let's see, 1 minute left of this race. Let's see, as they come over the line, has that gap of 1.6 seconds come down? So there goes Tandy. Here they come.
No.
Not really, no. 100th of a second. Yeah. You know, progress. It's a little bit closer. There we go. They started fighting. So I think they've decided, yeah, this probably isn't going to happen. Let's just go for the second place. Who can get best of the rest behind Felix Tandy? As it stands at the moment, we've got Lenny Barton in second place. Up the inside, Arlo Gamble is trying to have a quick look, but I think he was also defending from Will Wainwright. The fast charger started down in the mid-teens, I believe it was.
Lenny Barton was pointing forwards there to the drivers behind him. Surely he doesn't think that he could catch up 1.6 seconds. I mean, stranger things have happened in karting. This is the interesting psychology towards the end of the stage of this race now, particularly when you've got a situation here and Lenny's like, I'm in real trouble here. I wonder if they think that I'm going to work together. And 9 times out of 10, it never ends like that. It's just like someone's going to, you know, take that behind, you know, like Gamble and Wainwright are going to go, yeah, all right, we'll work together. I'm not sure that's going to happen here. They've got their own battles to be worrying about, and they're right on nose to tail. Felix Tandy looks like he's got this one in the bag. Meanwhile, Harry Riley, who's your championship leader at the moment in Micromax, is setting the fastest lap of the race. He's in P9, so it'll be some good points to take away from this weekend. If he remains, and will he remain, the championship leader remains to be seen. And down in the water Swiss, by the way. What's on our screen right now.
That was a fantastic undercut then from Arlo Gamble. He just saw Lenny Barton go a little bit wide, and so he was just like, right, I'm going to get the undercut on you and take it back. See, side by side, through the first hairpin, through the second hairpin, now coming into the complex, and I think Arlo Gamble has just managed to get past Arlo Gamble's managed to get past Lenny Barton. Lenny Barton is now trying to defend against Will Wainwright on the last couple of seconds of this race. See, Felix Tandy is gone. He is 2 seconds up the road. This is the race for the best of the rest. On to the start-finish straight. Felix Tandy takes the finals win, and it will be Arlo Gamble to take second place. You can see that Lenny Barton shakes his head. He puts his hand up. He's not happy with third place, but he's on the podium.
Yeah, it was a fantastic, well-driven victory from Felix Tandy. Sensed the opportunity early on. Arlo Gamble, Lenny Barton and Wainwright and Rhodes and Darlow and Kai Suri, Harry Riley, Caio Vieira and Jensen Kelly rounding off your top 10. And by the way, for the top podium of your Walter Swift Restricteds, Charlie Kitchen, Arlo Portagoody and Malachi O'Neill down towards the bottom of that field there.
Well, here we go then. Yes, the final results. That was certainly a fantastic race for the Micromax and Walter Swift Restricted. Felix Tandy is your winner. Arlo Gamble second place. Lenny Barton third place. Will Wainwright, Arthur Rhodes, Jensen Darlow, Kai Shuri, Harry Riley, Caio Vieira and Jensen Kelly round out the top 10.
So there you are then. Congratulations to Felix Tandy, who takes home the victory in this one, and also Charlie Kitchen in the Water Swift Restricted. We'll go from our dual class on the grid there in our final to the Water Swift Inters. And in this one, if I can remember rightly, Kieran, you were in the commentary box actually for one of these races early in the previous heats, and Corey Lyons was very much out front, but also in the mix of things, Cody Vertigan was very much a part of things too. Any of these drivers, given the size of the grid, very competitive still, could be in the running here.
Yes, I mean, again, my memory is running a little bit short, but yes, I was here for one of their heats a bit earlier on. It was a great race, and they were very much stuck together. So, yeah, I mean, obviously for the final, they're going to pull out every single trick in the book, everything up their sleeves they can possibly find. So hopefully we should have a good race on our hands to end the day for the Water Swift Inters.
Yeah, and let's go through your grid for the final then here. Who's going to take home the victory and the trophy for round 3 at PF International? It was Ethan Robinson and Corey Lyons who were having a great old scrap in the previous heats. Who can take home all the glory in this one? Travis Giddings, Frank Morris, who's your championship leader at the moment and your last race winner at round 2 in the final. He starts P4. George Greaves, Kieran Brooks in P6. Oliver Kleinfelter, Harry Chapman is in P8. And then rounded off by Cody Vertigan and Joshua Knighton. Someone said in the live chat earlier that they could predict the top 10, who the top 10 would be.
I heard that. Yeah. Yes, I did hear that. I was at
wonder if they could do it again.
I was actually mixing. I was the director at that point earlier on when they said that, which, yeah, I think was probably an apt description of it. But just because it's slightly smaller than some of the other grids doesn't mean it's going to be any less entertaining. I remember a couple of weeks ago, we're looking at a particular series and they had 8 karts in this one class. I'm not joking, it was the best final of the entire weekend.
Well, you go, because it's all close and close racing. As we go racing here for our Water Swift Inter-class, are we going to be going racing? It looks like a move round the outside from our championship leader, Frank Morris. He tried to do it and it didn't really pay off because he's gone further back.
Yeah.
Out in the lead is the likes of Ethan Robinson and Corey Lyons. That is Ethan Robinson in the lead.
Yeah, Frank Morris there, started in 4th place, I think. Oh, bit of a big slide there as they come off the bridge, but he just manages to collect it, I think, into the side of someone else. But he's still going, that's the main thing. We can keep on going in this race. But yeah, Frank Morris started in 4th place. I think he's what, now down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place now. I think he's probably made a place or two because he wasn't that high up as we came through the bowl. But you can see already we've got number 37 of George Greaves trying to find a way with Ethan Robinson. At this stage of the race, again, we've spoken about this 1,000 times over, they're going to want to work together, try and get themselves away from this field that we're currently following at the moment. And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, he's not looking at all aggressive. He's kind of going, right, let's work together here. Up the inside into turn 1 in 32 of Harry Chapman on... Ooh, that was very, very close coming through the first couple of corners. I think we just managed to get past. That's the 60 of Oliver Kleinfelter, I believe that was. Yeah. Very sideways off the bridge comes George Greaves as well.
Just making it stick. But this is great for George Greaves because we weren't seeing Greaves up there in the battle between Corey Lyons and Ethan Robinson early on. So Greaves is wanting to make sure he's here when it counts in the final. He's got more time to do it and make himself, well, win, essentially.
Yes.
I mean, that does help.
I think that's the end goal of all of the drivers. Yeah, you can see that. Oh, look at that. He put his hand up there to kind of show Corey Lyons, let's work together. But Corey Lyons is having absolutely none of this. He goes, no, I'm going to try and work together with Ethan and get away from you. It's my turn, exactly like you say. He wasn't up here during the heat earlier, but he's up here when it matters. during this final. And yes, they've got a little bit more time to do it, but as with any race, that time is going to disappear in an instant. Coming into the banking now. Not the banking, sorry, into the bowl, sorry. Harry Chapman up the inside of George Greaves. So George Greaves has gone from 2nd to 4th in the space of half a lap.
My literal sentence of make himself win, which I think I meant, just, be up there in the mix. It's kind of been the ultimate commentator's curse here, because he has dropped down to P4, having had a great start. And Ethan Robinson and Corey Lyons, once again, they are up there fighting each other, with Harry Chapman then in on the mix, and Harry also, I think, was pretty much up there in the last couple of races. We have a kart pulled off to the side, though, on the middle of the circuit, and that hopefully won't disturb much racing. There will be a yellow flag into hairpin 1. We're miles away from that right now, and that is the runner Joshua Knighton. Won't see any future part in this race, unfortunately, for Josh, who was starting at the back of the grid anyway. Unfortunately, wouldn't be able to retain any of the progress he made further up front. But 6 minutes 40 and 1 lap on the clock, and look, the person in 3rd is chasing down these two like nobody's business, trying to go around the outside of both of them there. What's he trying to do? I mean, that would be Herculean. But I mean, again, I've seen it happen there just this year and in the past at PF International. Anything's possible if you believe it, if you manifest it. Will he manifest an overtake up the inside here on Corey Lyons? Yes, he will. Harry Chapman goes through to 2nd place, and does he fancy 1st? No, he's a bit too far away. Ethan Robinson can hold on to that for the moment.
He started a bit further down. I'm looking at the time screen here, and I think he's starting 8th place. He's up 6 spots so far, which is very, very impressive going. Obviously, we've still got just under 6 minutes remaining of this race. So what he's probably trying to do here is eliminate Corey Lyons from the running. Not obviously literally, but trying to eliminate from the running of the race, from the win, sorry. Yes. I need to stop talking. But
legally,
he's trying
within the rules.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Absolutely, yeah. Nigel Edwards, if you listen to this, I didn't tell him to say, to do anything on track. He's obviously going to try and work with Ethan Robinson to try and pull away from Corey Lyons as he sets another fastest lap of the race. We're going to have a quick look at the timing screen here, and he's roughly sort of 2-ish tenths faster than those around him. There you go, proven into the first hairpin. He takes the lead away from Ethan Robinson, and now it's Ethan Robinson's turn to have a look at the back of someone else's kart. He's been in the lead since the start of this race, so at this point, if you're Ethan Robinson, what do? Do you try and get that lead back and go, no, I'm faster, let's work together? Or do you kind of go, no, he's got the fastest lap? Probably wouldn't know that, but he's obviously going quite quickly at the moment. Let's stick on the back of his bumper and see if we can try and drag away from Corey Lyons and the rest of the field.
I feel like these two working together here, as you said many times, is coming good. We weren't seeing it in the earlier heats today, but we are starting to see it here in the final somewhat. I mean, you bet Ethan Robinson will love a dive down the inside if the door opens, but these two are just kind of pulling away very slightly on Corey Lyons behind, and there was a bit of a move there on show, and has he made it stick? No, Ethan Robinson just about
that was interesting,
out, but nearly made it happen.
Because I think Harry Chapman went a little bit wide to try and get that run through the bowl. Harry Chapman went wider. Ethan Robinson saw, there's a gap on the inside, I'll try and go for it. That compromised his run. It's brought Corey Lyons straight back into this as well. On the inside there goes Ethan Robinson. He takes lead and he drags Corey Lyons along with him. So Harry Chapman, all that work, all that the passes he had to do, he's got to do it all over again. Back down in 3rd place. This trio, with just under 4 minutes remaining of this race, it could go in anyone's direction.
Purple pace is all good and well, but if track position doesn't stay on your side, it counts for absolutely nothing as we come across the line. Ethan Robinson and Corey Lyons. Harry Chapman leading us then in this one with 3.5 minutes to go plus 1 lap. It could be anyone's crown here around PF International for round 3 of the Club Championship, being brought to you by SlipStream and bringing you overtakes like that. Harry Chapman makes amends for his previous overtakes, and he's going to make amends again. He's gone from 3rd to 1st in a couple of corners. Where on earth did that come from? Fantastic racing.
That was so opportunistic from him, coming over the bridge there. He saw that gap, he went for it. Coming down the straight into the first hairpin, he was just like, I'm going to step in another position here. 2 corners, 2 positions, 3rd to 1st, exactly like you say. And in the process of that, Corey Lyons opportunistic as ever, he follows him straight through as well. So Ethan Robertson has dropped down now to 3rd place. But again, these positions just keep on changing. Look at the gap, though, that Harry Chapman has already managed to build over these two. I'd imagine, they've got 2.5 minutes left still to go. So Corey Lyons and Ethan Robertson, they're going to see that gap and go, yeah, work together, and exactly there. Ethan Robinson could have gone for the move there. He didn't. He just stuck in the slipstream. They're right with it. Once again, up the inside, there goes Corey Lyons. He takes that position away. Where's it going to come out? Okay, Harry Chapman in 2nd place, and Ethan Robinson is still in 3rd place. He's still looking at the back of both of them, but this time he's looking at Harry Chapman first, and Corey Lyons up in the lead as well. So this trio, they are far from finished.
No, they're definitely far from finished. 2 minutes and a lap on the clock. Is Chapman going to throw up the inside here? Oh, you bet he is. Up into the 2nd hairpin, and he retakes the lead once again. And I feel like Harry Chapman has got the pace out front on his own to be leading this race, but only if he had one kart behind him. With these two working together, with the slipstream on the straight to come back into the bowl, which you might see again from the likes of Robinson or Lyons behind, it could be the same story but a different lap. Let's find out as we come onto the start-finish straight for one more time, as Harry Chapman got a good enough run off of the exit of the final corner to stay in front. He gets a little bump from behind from Corey Lyons. He takes a different defensive line this time. He's wise to it, is Harry Chapman, and there's going to be no move up the inside there. Chapman this time remains in the lead, but how long is it going to stay like that, Kieran?
I don't think it's going to stay very long, to be honest. Nothing against Harry Chapman, but with the amount of movement that these three are performing for us, I genuinely, it could go anybody's way. It reminds me a little bit of oval racing. Bear with me here. This might be a bit of a tangent. But obviously, it doesn't matter sort of necessarily what position you're going into the last lap. It matters like how you're positioning yourself and how you're managing your gap, because you need to make sure that you're in the right position to take the lead at the right time so that they then can't take it back. And that's exactly what's going through Harry Chapman's head at the moment. He's going to come over this line. He's going to see 25 seconds left of this race. So he's going to know, okay, we've got like a couple of laps remaining here. What do I do? Where do I need to be come the final lap? Because if anything, being in the lead possibly isn't where you want to be going on to that final lap, because we know they can overtake into this corner here over the bridge. We know they can overtake into the first hairpin, into the second hairpin, into Bobby Game. So the question is, like, where would you rather be? You know, a racing driver's head is going to say in the lead, obviously. But, you know, if you're going to think about it logically, up the inside, there we go, Corey Lyons takes lead away. So I wonder if Harry Chapman, third place.
Two.
Yeah, 2 places from that. That might not be what he was expecting. We're going to go on to the final lap this next time around. So, who's going to take it? Who's going to be in the best position? We can see that Ethan Robinson just pulling out of the slipstream, having a quick look up the inside of Corey Lyons. Corey Lyons is wise to it, but no, he goes up the inside. Bit of a contact between the lot of them. But as they come onto the final lap on the start-finish straight, it is still anybody's game. Do you want to place a wager?
No, I'm good.
Don't blame you. Up the inside goes Ethan Robinson for the racing. We've got another race leader. Now we're going to have another look from Harry Chapman in the second place. A bit of a touch between Corey Lyons and Harry Chapman, and that might have given Ethan Robinson everything he needs. Up the inside, Harry Chapman once again into second place. Now there's only Ethan Robinson between Harry Chapman and victory in the final.
Can he hunt him down? Can Harry Chapman relinquish the race lead in this one? Can he come back and seek revenge? He's going to have to go defensive for the meanwhile, and Ethan Robinson knows he can just take the racing line. He's got the gap to do it. It's too much of a gap, it looks like, going into the final sector of PF International here. Ethan Robinson has been one of the pawn pieces in this game of chess throughout this Walter Swift Inter race, and Harry Chapman for a long time has been the bishop, the queen, the king. He's not going to be the king of this one, because Ethan Robinson is going to come round the final corner. He sees the checkered flag and he takes victory here for Walter Swift Inters. And that is how you take advantage of all of what's going on around you, and you become the winner of Walter Swift Inters at PF International.
So, do you remember what I was saying about you don't want to be on the leads going into the final lap? Ignore me.
And there we are. There we have it. Kieran, thank you so much. Always great to have your company here in the commentary box. And see us through an incredible final there for our Walter Swift Inters. So it looked like this in the end. Ethan Robinson, Harry Chapman, Corey Lyons, Oliver Kleinfelter, George Greaves, Frank Morris, Cody Vertigan, Kieran Brooks, Travis Giddings and Joshua Knighton, who didn't finish that race sadly. And a fantastic point made. Brilliant racing by all three there. It was clean, it was fair, it was hard racing, and it was to the end. And unfortunately, some drivers come out on top, some drivers don't. That's the way it goes. Ethan Robinson up there into the race win. He's taking home the trophy for the Walter Swift Inter category. But up 6 places though was Harry Chapman. Could be very impressed with that. There is Travis Giddings just making his way across the track. Unfortunately didn't finish that one. A couple of laps back ago and didn't see the checkered flag. Neither did Joshua Knighton in the other race suit. All right, we'll go from an incredible final there, I think you have to agree, from the Walter Swifts, and welcome the final for our Hondas. So we're whistling through down our final races today. And after the Hondas, we've got Junior X30, Senior X30, Junior Rotax and Senior Rotax. But for now, we will enjoy the Honda Cadets going out for their first taste of PFI trophies in Trent Valley Kart Clubs in 2026. The first time they're being welcomed here as part of the guest grids. There are other opportunities throughout the rest of the 2026 season to welcome them here to a gorgeous PF International circuit. Even if it's overcast like this, you have to admire how much of an amazing circuit this is for our drivers and racers to be in out there. So we're just waiting on getting our grids confirmed for our Honda Cadet final. Oh, and there they are. That's it. As if by magic. Shailen Skrikanton is on pole position, having taken a victory in the previous one. Archie Cannon, though, is fierce competition right there in third as well for Jensen Kuller. Oscar Somerset in P4, Nathan Grech in P5, Archie Edgar P6, Austin Dowell and Kian Doherty in P8. P9, Reggie Cook, Isaac Young in P10 and Alfie Love in P11. Oliver Pask rounds off our Honda Cadet runners in P12. Oh, look, who's rejoined me in the commentary box. You just couldn't keep away, could you?
No, I couldn't. I wanted to come and watch more fun racing.
Isn't it true? Kieran Mogg is with me alongside myself, Jake Peach, in the commentary box for our finals here into the final 5 races of our events here today. At round 3 of the Trent Valley Kart Club Championship at Paul Fletcher International. I did notice recently they have a new look of paint on the start-finish straight. You can see on the left of our screen here. More red. I'm sure they'll paint it again.
I mean, you are talking to a colourblind person, so I'm going to take you.
Really?
I'm going to take your word that it's colourblind. It is colourblind, but it's a better red. But you know, good that they've got the paintbrush out and had fun with it.
So hang on, everyone's different coloured karts and helmets. Is it not that kind of colourblind? So you can't pick out?
Not as well as a normal person. No.
I'm not normal. Don't be silly.
I never said you were.
So here we are for our Honda Cadets making their way round, and from my experience in the kart championship this year, Honda Cadets has been an incredibly close, fiercely fought category in the kart championship. Archie Cannon is also racing in the kart championship at the moment. We go to Rower in a couple of weeks, also with Alpha Live with new coverage of that. He is definitely one to watch in the Honda Cadets group, as well as Jensen Kuller as well. There's a clip on my social media though between me and David O'Sullivan commentating at Wilton Mill last time out, the very final lap and final stages of Honda Cadets, and it must be the craziest racing I've ever witnessed in my life. There was like a dive for the lead, and then there was a Constantina effect, then there's a dominoes, and then someone else got taken out. I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but I'm just saying Honda Cadets can also provide great entertainment for the neutral.
They 100% can. One of my favourite things, exactly what you see on screen here, standing starts. In karting, that's a rarity. You get it with the KZs, but for, Hondas are one of the few karts that you can actually do it in. And so, yeah, here we go. So the marshals are happy. I can see the marshals on our gantry right in front of us are happy as well. Marshal just checking something.
Not happy with him, though.
No, he's not. You're in the wrong position.
Back.
Yes.
Where's that grid slot? We did have someone earlier that was trying to be almost like a whole grid slot ahead, but they weren't putting pace to that. The red lights go live and they go out, and we are away slowly a little bit for our Honda cadets, but Archie Cannon makes it pay off the second row of the grid. However, he's not going to make that good start at what it seemed on screen pay, because Shaden is going to take the first turn in P1 where he started on pole position. Srikantan going into the lead this one, with Archie Cannon then in the Apollo livery behind, and the Project 1 Racing livery in third of, I believe it was Jensen Colour, but I'm not too sure who came out on top there. No, Oscar Somerset, probably. I think it was Oscar Somerset coming through into P3. So it's Srikantan, Cannon and Somerset, your top three after the first few corners, and settling out here already into a race that we are full speed at for the next 9 minutes and 1 lap.
Indeed, we saw there that Shaylin was already going defensive into the bowl, so he's not confident that Archie Cannon is going to actually just stick behind and not make any moves. So this is the kind of thing that we see. In the initial stages, they try and make moves, trying to find their positions, and again, you see him go defensive straight away into turn 1, so not confident that Archie is he's just going to stick there behind. So these top three at the moment with Shaylan, Archie and Oscar just trying to work together to get away from Kian Doherty and Nathan Gritch. So for the time being, you can see that they're all checking behind, nods, we see it, it's sort of the communication between them, and sometimes that's all that you see. However,
this doesn't work. It's not. Look, he's not happy because it's like we had an agreement.
Yeah.
And you're just going up the inside.
But also, it's not them working together because Kian's there. Like, Kian's obviously seen this happen, and you go, I'm not going to let you get away with this. I'm going to make sure that I stay with you. And what we'll see then is Nathan join in, and Jensen probably will. I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway, we've got the top four already together.
No, I'm sure you have some future visions that might come true in not too long. Here in the final then for our Honda cadets. And Kian Doherty, talking of him, he's up into 4th. He's up 4 places from the start. He started 8th. He's already up there in 4th place. If these three don't get their move on up front, he is definitely going to be onto the tail, and he is trying to stick with them here, as is the pace of our top three, supposedly working together in inverted commas as they go across the Litchfield Bridge at the moment. And I'd like to think they are working together, looking at them here, but we'll find out very soon in, 7 minutes, of course, and 1 lap.
I think they are, but I just want to highlight how quickly these things can change. So, you said, he's up 4 places. Both of us looked at the timing screens, alright? Then we look back at the screen, and there's a gigantic gap there.
It did open out a lot, yeah.
So, I don't know what happened in those 3 or 4 seconds, but I'm pretty sure it was on a straight. So maybe he got some oversteer coming out last corner and just lost momentum. I don't know. I'm speculating. We should have been watching the screen, so if you in the chat saw what happened, let us know. But coming on to the next lap, we can see there that Kian's actually been joined now by Jensen Culler and Nathan Gretsch. So we've got a trio for first place. We've got a trio for 4th place. And it just means that you, me, and everyone at home has got some fantastic racing that you can watch. Whether it's the top 3 going to battle it out, or if they kind of are sedate for the time being, we can go to the next 3 because they're already side by side as I speak. Perfect, thank you very much for proving my points.
Doherty and Kuller going up the inside, yes, and Jensen Kuller thinks, well, hang on a minute, you're not catching up to the top 3, I'm going to go up the inside of you, and also, so is Archie Cannon onto the inside to take the lead away from Shaylan Srikantan, and not wasting any time there, getting up the inside and trying to establish a bit of order in their minds and their opinions into this race. Fastest lap of the race also from Archie Cannon, showing he's got the pace for that Apollo race team underneath him, of which have been supporting the young Honda cadet drivers so well over the 2026 campaign, have been getting into Honda Cadets over the last 2-3 seasons and are working with some great talent coming on through. Archie Cannon is definitely one of them coming through here. You talk about that gap here forming between these two groups almost. We've got two groups of 3, although it's kind of like two groups of one group of 2 and a 1 and then a 3, because Oscar Somerset has dropped a little bit back from our front 2 here, even though they had a bit of a battle going on further on.
He has, yes. What I think's happened here is because Archie Cannon took that fastest lap, realised he's possibly got a little bit more pace in this stage of the race than Shayla. And so then he's kind of realised, okay, let's try and have a switcheroo. I'll jump into the lead, we'll kind of go for it. And with Archie in the lead and then Shaylan behind, they've managed to just start pulling away from Oscar, and Oscar just seems to not be able to keep up with this pace at this stage of the race. He's dropped half a second behind them already. It's not a gap that he can't close. It's still very much within his grasp, that win. But as it stands right now, these two are working together exactly as they should be. It has, as you've very visually pointed out in front of me, it has closed up a little bit. I think they've closed up about a 10th in the last half of the lap.
Definitely feels closer.
Yes, absolutely. But you can see there that Archie he was going a bit defensive, I think, at the ball there. And he's again maybe over-exerting his tyres, because coming off the bridge, he wasn't on the track.
That's an accurate description, to be fair. But we will also leave that to race control to decide whether he's going to keep this lap or not. I'm sure in a race like this, though, in the final stages, it's all about the positions on track, and if they feel like much of an advantage isn't gained, then of course things will continue line astern, and these two out in front then, Cannon and Srikantan, trading Somerset a little bit. I want to say the gap is kind of around 0.7 of a second back to Somerset right now. You can see our timing screens on the left, giving you how long we have left in our race. We have the time that ticks down to 0, then we have plus the 1 lap at the end. If they cross the line with 1 second on the clock, then they have 2 laps. So it can be that close sometimes as to whether we get more racing action.
Yeah, the inside there goes, was that Nathan, I believe? Hold on, I'm trying to work it out. That's number 16. So that's Jensen, I do apologise. So
I think Jensen went back through on Nathan,
yes,
maybe, and up into the, well, he's up in front of me, I think, of these guys. Yeah,
yes. If anything, right, I'm just looking at the overall gaps. So Oscar in the last section, he seems to be closing up on the top 2. But then in the first section of the lap, he seems to be dropping like 3-4 tenths of a second. So he's clearly struggling because he doesn't have that bump drafting that that Cannon and Srikantan have been able to use together. And if anything, because he's now almost a second and a half behind them, potentially in the 2 minutes we've got remaining, he could fall into the clutches of that 4th place battle, and that's exactly where he doesn't want to be, because Cannon and Srikantan are working perfectly together. Because Cannon has just taken the fastest lap, but I'll just have a quick look at the timing screen. The difference between them was nothing. Hold on. They're both set at 105.59, but I've only got to 2 decimal places, so come back to me, I'll work it out.
Okay.
Oh, they've just disappeared off my screen. Okay, basically there was probably maybe 50 thousandths of a second.
Half a hundredth.
50 thousandths of a second, give or take, between the 2 of them. So they're working very, very well together at the moment. It's nearly 2 seconds the gap. And then, because of that, we've got a second and a half between Somerset and Jensen Colour. So yeah, that gap in a minute and a half can definitely come down.
I'm just thinking though here, actually, I know he's in 3rd at the moment, but Oscar Somerset is doing a fantastic job on his own to keep enough of a buffer behind him, albeit with the gap out front that he's currently got with a minute on the clock plus 1 lap. Archie Cannon and Srikantan are vying for position here, as are Jensen Colour and Greg and Doherty. To the back of your screens when the cameras picked us up there, going through the Bruno Ferrari S's. There is Somerset on your screen, then follows the chasing group there. Here's your front 2 though, and it's all going to come out as to who's going to win this race in a very short while, in only a couple of laps to go. who is going to take victory in this one. Srikantan knows how to take victory. He has been doing incredibly well in the last few months. If you go back to the 2025 season, he took a victory in the British Kart Championship in round 6. He made some great progress in the British Kart Championship last weekend, albeit not at the front and winning the race. So he certainly knows how to win a race. Whether this is the time that's going to happen, and Archie Cannon wants to get in the way of that, is another story. Archie Cannon has definitely been up there winning races in heats and other races in the kart championship in 2026, and he's going to want to try and take this one because he's going super defensive. He really wants this race victory from Shaylen, but Shaylen is going to try his very best to stave off the charge in the rest of this one. He goes defensive, hugs the inside of the bowl, as you would if you're leading the race here at PF International, but he's got to be so careful, Kieran, coming down into this hairpin.
He absolutely has to, but we've also got to remember they crossed the line with just about 2 seconds remaining on the race, so they've still got this lap and then another one afterwards, so they don't want to cause too much time loss in this lap at the moment. So Archie Cannon is obviously going very, very defensive at the moment. Srikantan possibly not going as hard as he can do because he didn't see the timing board above him say final lap, and that indicates, okay, now it's time to go really hard. You can see there, Archie Cannon does not trust him. He's going into every corner at the most defensive line possible. They are slowing each other up at the moment, and as they come onto the start finish for the final lap, here we go. We've got Archie Cannon going very defensive side by side into turn 1. And we can see there, Cannon manages to go round the outside and takes the lead away. Oscar Somerset has then closed off as well, only by a couple of tenths, but he's closed that gap just a little bit. Now, Archie Cannon, what can he do? He's looking at the back of the 1, 2, 3, coming down towards the first hairpin. Do you go for the move here, or do you try, wait, and go for the second one?
Where he is.
Srikantan has gone straight for the inside line, and he can't find Cannon. Cannon is just positioning himself in a position where Srikantan isn't sure what he's going to do. He's trying to cover him off at the moment, but for the time being, he seems to be doing it. He's got enough of a gap. Going now into the final complex of the corner. I think he might have done it. He's got a gap. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, I think he might have this.
I don't know how he's pulled that off. It was an incredible move going around the outside of the start-finish straight, and he has had to deal with the pressure of chasing after Archie Cannon in all of this race. And now, as he's got towards the final lap, he looks over his shoulder. He thinks he's got enough of a gap here. He puts his foot to the floor towards the start-finish line. Archie Cannon is despondent because Shaylen Srikantan takes victory here for the Honda Cadets final at PF International.
We saw that Oscar Somerset absolutely over the moon with his third place. He was fist bumping as he came across the line. That's what we love to see. Archie Cannon obviously despondent at the fact he didn't get that win, but I think he can be very, very proud of that drive. He didn't get the number 1, but he made sure that Srikantan didn't get it without one hell of a fight.
You can say that, you know, like, should I have gone that defensive in the Mike Wilson complex?
Yeah.
Or maybe I should I have stayed? And then he could have gone round the outside. It's ifs, buts and maybes at this point. You've got to go with what you're feeling in the race.
Absolutely, absolutely. But, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, and he will learn from every single race he's had today. But here we go, Shaylen Srikantan takes the win in the Honda GX 200 final. Behind is Archie Cannon, Oscar Somerset, Jensen Culler, Nathan Gretsch, Kian Doherty, Archie Edgar, Austin Dowell, Isaac Young, Reggie Cook and Oliver Pask, rounding out the back of the field. Well, that was certainly an interesting race. It wasn't wheel to wheel the entire time like we've seen in other races, but it was a constant race of just mind games. Exactly. And that's the difference in some of the races that you find. Like, it's not always just side by side. There's so much to think about. Unfortunately, that is it for the Hondas. However, it doesn't mean we haven't got any more racing because, strap yourselves in. We've got the Junior X30s.
We certainly have. On to Junior X30 then, into the final for round 3 of the Trent Valley Kart Club. Let's get you onto the grids and see who is going to be the ones to watch out for here. And I'm interested to see what happened from race controls decisions of the last Junior X30 heat, because there was a certain driver that's normally towards the front of the pack that received a black flag. So we'll see how that's all unravelled here, and so it does look a bit different. I'll talk about that person in a second. Millen Tomlinson, Alfie Brown, Enzo Batarazzi is in P3. That's a great performance considering what happened in the heats for him. John Foley Jr., Henry Clark, Sophie Campbell, Alfie Taylor and Zach Shampney is in P8. Danny Dempsey, Rocco Leon Shenton with that PF plate in P10. Now, Knight measures. He was running up in the front of the pack. He dropped back slightly in the previous heats. He got a black flag because I think it was a mechanical issue or something of those which I'm not too sure. But he starts in P11. And lucky that it's being able to be in this race, I'm sure. Max Mason in 12. That's my name, Jake Flewitt, there we go. Jake Flewitt is in P13. Katie Clark in P14. Katie Donaldson, very unfortunate in the previous heats, was right up there in the lead and fell back down to P10. She starts P15. Finley Hines in P16. Ed and Lima Evans, Charlie Blenkinsop, Charlie Blair, two Charlies next to each other. Harry Myers, Jack Wish, Nathaniel Hodges and Cavan Hayes rounds off your 23 runners for your Junior X30 final. Race 26 of the day. We're whittling through them.
We are indeed, yeah. It's it's non-stop action, it's non-stop fun, and it's non-stop entertainment for all you at home and us here at the track. Junior X30s is one of those classes that, if it's on, I can't do anything else but sit and watch it. I think a couple of years ago I was doing socials for the British Kart Championships, and during the juniors and the seniors I didn't really get any work done, I'll be totally honest. I should have been working, but I wasn't.
Clipping things up.
Yeah, do apologise, James Fitch. I know you had me there to work, but I was watching. It was too entertaining to not watch as they come out onto track for their final race of the day. Yeah, the Junior X30s, they always put on a show. They are always super entertaining. And, I mean, around this track as well, this class, this track, basically guaranteed something interesting.
And always people think, oh, why do road taxis and X30s race together if you're not even familiar with karting, or what's the difference in the two classes? Well, some of them, the engines for the X30s versus the road taxis, one of them runs better in straight line speed, the others feel a bit more suited for different kind of powered circuits and maybe a bit more, maybe like Wilton Mill, that kind of things, and suits more of that. So to have their own classes, it's equal and fair. There's no kind of like, oh, he's going 2 mile an hour faster than me on a straight, how did he do that?
Yeah, it's also obviously different at manufacturers with Rotax and Iami, and obviously you've got the water-cooled engines with Iami as well, so there's different ways that they're kind of built up, and so it just makes sense to have them separated. You know, it's not like a car race where you've got a Mercedes and a Ferrari and a Bentley and a Lamborghini racing together, and there's some parity in that. It's extremely difficult to create the parity, and so they have the classes. It's a spec class, and just means that everyone is on a level playing field, and it's down to the driver, which is what we like.
And Millen Tomlinson there, who is starting off pole for this one, was very unhappy with how far back the grid was. He was literally looking back going, it was like a John Travolta meme out of Pulp Fiction going, where is everyone? I don't quite know. Oh, okay, you're coming along soon. They're coming along now, though, into the tram lines, and oh no, we're not going racing, because Nigel Edwards, our race starter, has seen the discrepancy at the back there, onto the curbing, out the final corner, and that is not going to be one of the race start that we can use. So we'll go round again, and we will form once more and get another opportunity to get some heat into our tyres.
Indeed, yes, and I'm glad that's happened actually, because there's some comments in the live chat. Firstly, we've got Dirk1285 who said, let's go Alfie Brown and Rocco, fantastic, obviously showing your support. Please do keep those comments coming in. But also the wonderful David Whitehouse on the Alpha Live Productions channel. He's literally just commented popcorn buckets, which is the perfect, I think, emoji you can use for this at the moment.
Is that us or the racing?
No, that's David Whitehouse, so that's us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So David Whitehouse, he's Motorsport Magpie. He does a lot of stuff behind the scenes for Alpha. He works on the event, he does some of the social stuff, and I'm sure he'll be keeping a keen eye out for social content as well, because that's what he does. Also, right in front of our commentary box, we've got a car stopped on track, and I think that is 27 of Charlie Blenkinsop.
Look at that helmet. Can someone just give some respect for that helmet?
That is
love
incredible.
It. Look at the Boss watch on, and of course, I'm sure there's not the only watches around. However, it does look pretty sick.
Yeah, that is absolutely incredible. It's probably one of my favourite helmet designs I've ever seen. He's trying to get it moving at the moment, and he has managed to get it running again. I don't know for how much longer.
He hasn't.
No, okay, he's pulled off. There we go.
Oh, he's not happy.
No.
Understandably.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this may be...
Another, yeah.
Oh, actually, they pulled it off the track, so potentially we could be going racing here. We'll find out. Waiting for Nigel Edwards to give his decision. Nigel, by the way, is about 10 metres away from us.
Another one.
Yeah.
Of course, if they don't get going properly, these carts can choke up quite a bit, can't they? And
yes.
If they're not getting the oil round the engine and through the system, they can so easily seize up and not have enough temperature and whatever else they need to get going. So, yeah, that was kind of inevitable sometimes when that does happen.
Yes, indeed. Also, Richard Morrow, THC, says, "Afternoon, guys. Looking forward to this. So are we."
When it gets going.
When it gets going, we cannot wait for this to get going. Absolutely. It's one of those classes that I've been looking forward to all day long. I've had to obviously jump in and out of the commentary box to go and do a million other things, but I wanted to make sure I was here for the junior, senior X30s, junior and senior Rotax. Those are the ones that I'm very, very keen on because I'll be totally honest, the speed I think is one of the big character draws of it. You know, it's fantastic, the speed that they can go. Not taking anything away from the others, absolutely, because we've seen the racing is incredible. But you know, these guys always put on a show, and
I'd love to see you in a Honda Cadet now. I don't know if that's physically possible, but
if everybody that has a Honda Cadet, you're listening to this, I'm here. I'm in the commentary box if you want to let me loose. But anyway, speaking of being let loose, let's see if Nigel Edwards lets someone else stop us now.
Oh, what? Where?
We can see
another one.
Yeah, we can see out of our commentary box someone else has stopped. Let's see
another one. Are we on to this one though? We are going racing. No, this time he doesn't mind because that's going to be cleared away, and we are into the Junior X30 final. And it looks very much like that Alfie Brown has jumped up into the lead here ahead of Milan Tomlinson. Let's see how everyone else has found their way through, and I think that's Enzo Bertarazzi up into second as well in also 72. John Foley Jr. is up into second as well. So we're just trying to see who's not taking any further part in this race. We'll figure it out in a moment.
I think it's Danny Dempsey, 7:15. Thank you very much to Luke, our producer, in our ears for that. He's stopped over at the complex on the last sector, which these drivers are about to go past at the moment. That is a fantastic start there for Alfie Brown to actually get that initial run, and the PF plate.
Rocco Leon Shenton just on screen there, diving down the inside of the Mike Paulson complex on the inside of our 56 runner, I believe, our 56. Oh, I'm making up that number completely. There you go, I've completely misread it.
36, Jake Fluid.
That's the Jake Fluid. That will make sense because he's in fourth ahead of Jake Fluid in fifth. It was a fantastic move, overtaker move up onto the inside. So 8 minutes 40 plus 1 lap. We finally got going racing. And look at these two already out of the front. Alfie Brown and John Foley Jr. wants to go up the inside and does so and makes that move stick there. And well, I mean, he was wanting to work together. And he's not going to get it because Alfie Brown wants to be in the lead of this one. He was just shaking his head thinking, oh, I thought I could trust you, mate. I really did. You can't, because it's karting.
No, it's an inevitable mind game. It's coming off the bridge there. He's got a kick of oversteer, went slightly wide, and that was all the invitation that John Foley Jr. needed. Coming up the inside, into the inside of the first hairpin. Through the complex at the moment, onto the start-finish straight. Alfie Brown obviously back in front, but behind them we've got Rocco Leon Shenton in third place, Jake Fluid in third, Sophie Campbell in fifth, Enzo Bertarazzi in sixth, Zach Champney in seventh, Max Mason eighth, Katie Donaldson has already managed to make up 6 places into ninth place. So obviously we saw her earlier. She was an absolute unstoppable force until that unfortunate last lap. But coming up the inside now is the number 20 of Enzo Bertarazzi on the inside of Sophie Campbell, trying to get that number 5 spot away from her. And I think He hasn't done it because is that Champney 61 cars managed to just jump both of them?
Yeah, he came through at the same time and followed them through, I think. So yeah, he's gone on through into P5, P4.
One of them. We'll find out in a minute.
Yes, we will. As they come across the timing lines, we will confirm. There's battles going on all over in that final part of the circuit. Katie Donaldson has lost out hugely there because she's down to she's come up. She's got P8. She did dive down the inside. And it was, Enzo Materazzi who's fallen down the order. Jake Fluid, though, is someone also in this race who's done very, very well indeed. He's up into P4. He's up 9 places from the start here. So fantastic beginning. And oh look, 20 going defensive there. That was Enzo Materazzi trying to hold off Max Mason on the inside. And here is Rocco.
Yeah, Jake Fluid's back into third now.
He's back into third. So
yeah.
all happening between all of our drivers here. All very close on their bumpers there. Who collided with the rear and the front. Don't want to damage the bodywork. Look at the squirming, the constant squirming of trying to control the back of the car as you're under braking and trying to defend with all of the space, making your car as big as possible within the rules, whilst also not trying to take the person out behind. The skill on show here.
Yes,
very impressive.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't think coverage can do justice just how difficult these things are to drive. I haven't driven an X30, but I have had the privilege of driving a senior Rotax, and obviously they are somewhat comparable, I'd say. And believe me, the first lap out, I was screaming the entire way around, and then I went backwards into a wall at 40 miles an hour.
Only 40?
Only 40, yes. Dear. Yeah, I mean, that was after I'd already scrubbed off at what felt like 100 mile an hour speed. But yeah, I don't think, just like in a Formula 1 race, I don't think it does it justice. And you've just spotted something which is not brilliant. No,
it's huge, and it's another unfortunate event for Katie Donaldson. She's got a 5-second penalty down in P7 at the moment. That's almost, of course, going to take her out of this one. And that's really unfortunate for Katie, who was having a great heat in the last race before our X30 finals today. Unfortunately, not something we want to see. However, into the lead at the moment, John Foley Jr. has gone ahead of Alfie Brown in the 94 car. You can see Rocco coming ahead of Jake Fluid as well. Shenton Leon is going to try and jump into second place. He's jumped into third for now. Jake Fluid falling down the order at the start of the first stages of the first half of this race. Anyway, he's in fourth there, confirmed fastest lap of the race. Zach Champney in P5 right now. Yes, indeed, and that's that 2-car breakaway between John Foley Jr. and Alfie Brown that was happening has now been halted and is now turned into a 5-car breakaway because they have been caught by Rocco, Leon Shenton, Jake Fluid and Zach Champney. So we now have a 5-way battle for the lead with just under 4 minutes remaining. Look at this. This is what we love to see. 5 cars going tooth and nail as the 36 of Jake Fluid comes up. We've got a red flag being thrown out. Someone is stopped at the Mike Wilson complex. So we can see out of our commentary box that there has been something over there. So hopefully the driver is all okay. For the time being, the cart will obviously just come to a halt on the back straight by the looks of it. I think Dan Ashton, that's not Dan Ashton. Where's Dan Ashton gone? Where has his bright shoe disappeared off to? Oh, there he is. He's a bit further back. So the fantastic staff here at PFI, Trent Valley Kart Club, are just looking after the situation, make sure all the drivers come to a stop safely on the back straight while we wait to see, hopefully, that the driver that is down there is okay. Obviously, we'll try and bring you information as we find it, as we hear about it as well. For the time being, red flag, so halt in proceedings. It's also had another driver stop out on track.
Yes.
In the meantime, the number 93, who is Nathaniel Hodges for the racing as a privateer this weekend. So he stopped on the start-finish straight on the big red PFI. Red letters out there on the start finish straight. But as we've got this stoppage, we'll take a brief pause to let the marshals here in this Junior X30 final do their thing and look after and make sure everything is okay and safe, and we'll come back to you in a second.
Have you ever watched a kart race and felt the excitement, the speed, the competition, the energy, and thought, I'd love to be part of that? Well, here's your chance. Our kart race meetings are powered not just by drivers and teams, but by an incredible group of volunteers who make every race day possible. Without them, the racing simply wouldn't happen. Whether you're a motorsport fan, a parent of a driver, someone looking for experience, or you just enjoy being part of a team, we'd love to have you join us. What can volunteers do? There's a role for everyone. Track marshals, right at the heart of the action, ensuring safety on circuit. Grid and pit lane assistance, helping line up karts and keep the race meetings running smoothly. Scrutineering support, assisting with safety checks. Race control and administration, supporting timing, paperwork and organisation. Event setup and pack down crew. The team that makes it all happen behind the scenes. No prior experience? No problem. We provide training, support and mentoring. All you need is enthusiasm and reliability. Why volunteer? Be part of the thrilling world of kart racing. Learn new skills and gain valuable experience. Meet like-minded people and make great friends. Get close to the action in a safe and structured environment. Support grassroots motorsport and young drivers chasing their dreams. Many top racing drivers started their journey in karting. Our volunteers are part of that story. What's the commitment? You can volunteer for a single event or become a regular member of our team. We run regular race meetings throughout the year, and every event needs dedicated people like you. Even a few days a year makes a huge difference. If you'd like to get involved with Trent Valley Kart Club, please speak to us today in the Race Control Office or contact us at claire@tvkc.co.uk. Come and be part of the team that makes race day possible. Because when the lights go out and the race begins, it's not just the drivers who make it happen, it's all of us. Thank you, and we hope to welcome you trackside soon.
So, welcome back. We're still just under the final stages of the red flag. We are glad to say and glad to report that the driver involved in the final Mike Wilson complex is up, is walking and is okay. Took a bit of a hit into the barriers, but thankfully great to see that they're all okay. From what you just saw, the Honda guest, because we had our Honda final, didn't we, not too long ago. There will be another opportunity next month if you're a Honda Cadet racer or you're interested in come along to watch the action. Honda Cadets will be in action in July for our race meeting. And just whilst we wait to get our runners back up and running for the final few minutes of Junior X30, how much are you looking forward to Kart Masters, Kieran, this year? It's a very special one, and I'm sure you've been involved with a couple over the years.
Only one, actually, in the past. Yeah. Kart Masters is absolutely fantastic. The atmosphere here is unreal. Obviously, it's a massive event, and it's an event that rivals some of the international competitions at the end of the year that bring the very best of the best together. You know, the emotions that you see from the drivers that end up winning the final at Kart Masters is the same as winning a world championship or a European championship. It does mean that much to them. And you know, the show that PFI and TVKC put on during the Kart Masters weekend is unreal. Like I said, I've only been here for one of them so far. I am here this year for it, which I'm very much looking forward to. And I remember the year that I was here was 2024, which was the year that the DJ Pigeon incident happened, where there was a pigeon that got lodged underneath the bridge in front of the Alpha Live camera. And
completely missed this.
Yeah. So there was a pigeon down there and in front of the camera, and so there's a photo that was given to Henry Baudet of this pigeon, and he was like, "Now I want to introduce you to the world's bravest pigeon," and he kind of put it up against the comms camera, and he was saying like, "We're going to run a competition now. Name that pigeon." And somebody in the chat randomly said, "Let's call it Anthony Jordan." Now, Anthony Jordan and Henry Baudet together sometimes are a bit of a lethal combination,
quite.
But it's a very entertaining combination, and so Henry fell about laughing all over the desk, exactly where you're standing right now. He was bent over completely in fits of laughter and unable to do anything productive. And Piers Pryor, the poor man, was standing where I am standing right now, trying his best to keep his composure and keep the show together.
Oh, quite. Someone needs to keep order.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite difficult to keep Henry Baudet in line sometimes because, you know, he says what he wants, and not everyone... especially some of the drivers don't like some of the things that he has to say, but one thing, he is always honest. Yeah. But the Junior X30s are now getting ready for a restart. I don't think it's going to be a full restart. I think it's probably going to be green on the line, we've just been told. Thank you very much to Luke Woodford in our ears, the man that has been putting the show together. But here we go indeed.
350 to go.
350 to go as they come over the line. They are just in a single line formation for the time being as the number 72 of John Foley Jr. continues to take lead into the first corner through the bowl section. I didn't quite see what happened there.
Was that Rocco Leon Shenton going round Alfie Brown? I don't think he made that stick. He was really trying to go around the outside of his teammate, and I'm just trying to see if it's paid it in. No, he didn't quite make it stick, but he wants this second place. Oh! And on the brakes, that's not going to end up very well. And you can see there from our drivers, including the 61 of Champney, didn't feel like that was very kind. And also on the edge there with Jake Fluitt coming on the edge of the curbing, out of the second hairpin. That is definitely not what he wanted to see and what you might want to see for the rest of this race. But coming through now, they've just been sitting there for ages, waiting for this race to get going again. The adrenaline has been pumping. They've cooled down again. Then the go-kart started, and they're straight back to it with the green light, and they've got 3 minutes of racing to go. There's almost all the strategies thrown out the window.
100%. But in all of this, John Foley Jr. managed to build a gap, but then there we go, straight away Alfie Brown's managed to close it back up into the bowl section. He takes it straight back. He takes that lead away from John Foley Jr., who took it a little bit earlier on, and in the process of doing that, they're now bringing along Rocco Leon Shenton in third place with them, try and go away from, but we can see there that the number 94 of Alfie Brown just runs slightly wide coming out of that corner then. I'm being safe in my choice of words there. So John Foley Jr. takes that lead straight back away from Alfie Brown. So John Foley Jr., there we go, leading this trio of karts, and then come the rest of the pack, which has been led currently by Katie Donaldson, except it was...
Donaldson. Yes, Katie Donaldson gets into the back of Zach Champney just a tad. Because the concertina effect again of if one person breaks, has to take avoiding action, so does everyone else.
Yes, they are very much... There's only a minute and a half left of this race and a minute and a half left of our weekend here. I am going for it, and that's what we like to see. So up into fourth place did go the number 61 of Zach Champney, but it's now been taken back by, I think that was Jake Fluitt. Yes, thank you very much. So Jake Fluitt there goes straight to the right-hand side to go defensive against Zach Champney. All of this is allowing these guys, let's go ahead, let's go. Around the outside though, you can see Rocco Leon Shenton trying to take away, because Alfie Brown is going defensive. He's kind of going, no, we need to work together. We still need to try and go. Look at the gap that's starting to form between them and John Foley Jr. That's not what they want to happen. You can see the karts in the background there, just trying to vie for space, trying to find the grip that wherever they can. And in doing all of this at the moment, John Foley Jr. has managed to build a little bit of a gap, half a second or so, but that is going to come down straight away. In fact, it has already come down. There we go. 2/10 over the line, and then nose to tail as they come into the bowl. That's the word I was looking for. As they come over the bridge now, John Foley Jr.'s gap has completely diminished.
Where's he gone?
That's Rocco Leon Shenton. He just got a kick of oversteer coming out of the bridge. And he went
No, he's out.
Yeah, he's out.
He's out. What's happened to him? Has he just lost power? Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh, he's off the road. He's in the Midland circuit. It won't be a problem for the marshals or anything of that such. It's well out the way, but oh, what a shame. So now it's Alfie Brown. He's got to do it all by himself to chase after. He's not got the help of the slipstream anymore. And we've got this final lap which we're about to have. We're not going to have enough time left for 2 more laps. We are going to cross the line with no time left. Is John Foley Jr. going to hold on to it? Is Alfie Brown, without his teammate, going to take home the victory here and find a way past John Foley Jr.? Is he going to do it now into turn 1? Oh, he's made it stick. He's gone into the Brunner Ferrari S's. What a move up the inside. And you said take the chance with only 3 or so minutes left on the clock, Kieran. That's exactly what Alfie Brown has done across the Litchfield Bridge. John Foley Jr. then, I'm sure, won't be going quietly as we come down into the heavy. You can see a shake of their going, come on, I'm not letting this one slip that easily. He gets as close as he can under braking, as close as he can to the apex. Coming towards the second hairpin now. Again, kiss the apex. Although Alfie Brown got a little bit out of shape, he's just about managed to hold on to it. Does John Foley Jr. have any answer coming into the final sector, into the Mike Wilson complex, the most technical part of the track? Is there any way that John Foley Jr. can fry it up the inside? Oh, he had to think about it then, but it looks like Alfie Brown, who won last time out in round 2, is going to take it once again. Alfie Brown wins for the Junior X30s and extends his championship lead already at the top of the field. And given him stoppages of that, it was always going to be a fast recharging start, and boy were we treated to it.
We 100% were. I almost feel like, you know when you go rent-a-karting and they sometimes have a sign that says calm down? It almost feels like that may have been...
I've seen that before.
Yes.
I've seen that here. They typed it on like a PowerPoint presentation, like Word graphic thing,
well,
and it came up.
The computer that does that is about 3 meters away from us that controls that screen over the gantry. But Alfie Brown, that wonderful move going into turn 1, that surprise move that caught John Foley Jr. off guard, has won him the Junior X30 final here at the Trent Valley Kart Club. John Foley Jr. in 2nd place, Jake Flewitt in 3rd place.
He's got a 5-second penalty though.
Does he?
Jake Flewitt, yeah, it just came through at the end of that race. And also a 5-second penalty for our
Sophie Campbell
90 runner, yeah, Sophie Campbell. So provisional for Zach Shampney, Donaldson in 5th, Butterazzi, Mason, Clark, Wish and Campbell, as you said. And Charlie Blair, Albie Taylor, Clark, and Rockley and Shenton, who was out towards the end of that race, unfortunately had to pull to the side and just looked like he lost power completely, just gave up on him.
Yes, that is a massive shame. I'm kind of, you know, it's a shame we didn't get to see a 3-way fight for that win then, but we still got treated to a fantastic overall battle. But, I mean, that was good. Guess what's coming up next? It's a Senior X30.
So it's SlipStream broadcasting to you live from Paul Fletcher International in the heart of Lincolnshire, powered by Alpha Live. It's Jake Peach here alongside Kieran Mogg. We have 3 races to go before the end of things for round 3 of the Trent Valley Kart Club Championship today. And this is how your grid looks for Senior X30. Our championship lead at the moment, Hayden Eldridge, will be looking to squeeze the most out of this race as he can to hold on to that championship lead at the moment, which I think is a slender sort of 17 points ahead back to Noah Sales at the moment. But Aaron Brown is going off pole. Hayden Eldridge will have some work to do to get up onto the top step of the podium. In 2nd, Lucas Blanford came through the field in the last heats, did a very good job indeed to be in P3. Alistair Cresswell, Aaron Edmonds, Alex Wiley, Oliver Meakin, Sam Horton for S8 Racing down to P8, Peter Shuvovic and Jacob Marples in P10, Bailey Brooker, Adam Holmes, Jack Nettleship, Isaac Marsh, Liam Karabalov, who'd been wanting to avoid a retirement for like the last heat he was in, Dominic Parabok down to P16. Reece Newburn, Dorian Malik, Alfie Gallagher, Aaron Lask, Archie Cole, Ethan Woodward, Ethan Higgins, 2 Ethans next to each other. And Noah Sales, 2nd in the championship at the moment, starts P24. Charlie Phil, Kai Hunter. Haven't seen much from him today, unfortunately for Hunter Motorsport. Can he have a barnstormer of a final race. Oscar Cole and Keith Burke rounds off your 28 runners.
Just looking at the timing screen, I'm not sure if Kai Hunter is actually there.
Oh,
On the timing screen it says in, and he's not come through the sectors.
okay, so
either
maybe
he's
he's out of this one and...
Either his transponder's not working or he's not there. Let's have a quick look. So he's a 3-5. It should be on that second to last row.
I think you're right.
I don't think he's there.
Yeah. Okay, well, unfortunately no Kai Hunter in this one, from what we can see at the moment. Well, we've got all the rest of our runners to take home the crown for Senior X30 in the final. Who's going to take this one? Hayden Eldridge tries to make a move, but that has backfired on him. He drops down 2, 3, 4 places at the start and into the lead, or as I say, into the lead. That is
Oscar Cole.
Oscar Cole, yes, in the
Jade Racing Team.
For the Jade Racing Team in the 56. Oh dear. So not a great start for them.
Oh, Archie Cole.
Archie Cole, sorry, yeah. Archie Cole in the 56 for the Jade Racing Team, who was alongside Ethan Woodward and Aaron Lass. Won't see any further part in this one. Hayden Eldridge has recovered somewhat as he's made his way down the second back straight, along with all of our other Senior X30 drivers out there, into P3. Out in the lead at the moment is Aaron Brown, followed by, I think, Lucas Blanford is up there in second place. So Hayden Eldridge got some work to do to get back to where he wants to be. And yeah, I think you're right about Kai Hunter, not seeing him on the timing screens at all, so not taking part in this race. Confirmation then, Aaron Brown, Cresswell. How did Cresswell get up there into second place? Wow, great start.
He's in third place now. As you check the timing screen, Hayden Eldridge went up the inside.
Came up the inside. So Eldridge into second. Oh, Brown into... I hope that's okay. I think just two drivers got caught up with each other there.
Looks like it, yeah.
Not too sure what happened in the Litchfield Bridge section, but we'll jump back on board here. And here's the battle for second place then, and third. And Cresswell and Lucas Blanford fighting between third and fourth. And Eldridge then back into second place, where he very much wanted to be, and kind of needs to be, to retain this championship lead. There he is in third. That is Lucas Blanford in third position. Cresswell, Edmonds, Wiley, Juvic, followed by Jacob Marple, Sam Horton and Dominic Parabok in this race. Liam Karabalov has found a place on the start. Oh no, I say that. I thought he'd found a place at the start and my mind tricked me. He's gone down 3 places to 18th was latest position, but no, he's back up to 14th. So quite a roller coaster of a lap there for Liam Karabalov, coming back through the field and trying to get towards the front in this one. 7 minutes 44 on the clock.
Yeah, Aaron Brown and Hayden Eldridge managed to pull a little bit away from each other as Hayden Eldridge goes up the inside for the lead. But because they're a little bit of a battle they've had, this entire train of cars has now just gone up to them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sort of 7, it's 6 or 7 in this front battle at the moment.
No, it struck again.
It was there. Anyway, yeah, we've got about 7 karts in this front battle now. But this is what's fantastic about it. Any one of these drivers could end up as the overall winner. As you can see there, that was the 1-3-3 of Cresswell, Alistair Cresswell. Just having a quick look, see if he could try and make a move. He backed out of it, but on the inside there, we go to second place. That was Lucas Blanford in second place over Aaron Brown, I believe it was. And I think, actually, Alistair Cresswell followed him through, so I think Brown might be down.
Brown got really sort of pushed out there as a result of all of what happened, and now look where he is. He is all the way down in 7th position, having started this race on pole. So, obviously a very unfortunate set of events there. However, it looked a bit unfortunate from racing action that he kind of really wasn't involved in and just sort of got caught in the end of it. Yeah,
basically, he kind of covered off his line a little bit, and then perhaps he left a little bit too much of a gap on the inside. Cresswell and Blanford saw that gap, went straight into it, and perhaps he wasn't expecting them to try that. And, you know, bit of a passenger in that one, unfortunately. But over the line for the latest time, Cresswell is 3/10 behind Hayden Eldridge as it stands at the moment. Oh, a bit of side-by-side there. It's like Karen Edmonds and Alex Wiley, I think it might have been.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that. Lucas Blanford hanging it round the outside across the bridge there. I don't know if that ended up being a good move for him, because on the inside, He's got Alex Wiley for company, and also now arriving on the scene is Piotr Jurovic, trying to find a way up into P5, possibly up into P4, seeing how well it goes. At the front of this, Alex Wiley trying to find a bit of pace on Lucas Blanford, who drops behind, I think, on that straight. And yeah, there you go, confirmation of Wiley, Jurovic and Blanford down into P6. Dominic Parabot with the fastest lap of the race in P7. Right now, Aaron Brown with it all to do to find his way back up to where he was. 3.1 seconds off the lead now of Hayden Eldridge. There is the lead. Cresswell, Edmonds, all together in a group of three now with a chase of Wiley, Jurovic, Blanford and Parabot behind, doing their best to try and find their way through here. Karabalov also setting the pace out there down in P14, the 3.44 runner, and also now the fastest lap going to Jack Nettleship, who was up the front earlier on in other races as well.
On the last lap, I saw up the inside, give me a second, I'll have that thought. The 167 of Lucas Blanford is going straight past Jurovic. Now, Jurovic, on that previous lap, coming into that first hairpin, and the second hairpin actually, you can see just how stiff the chassis was. He was up basically on two wheels. It's fantastic to see like the amount of cornering grip they can have sometimes, and just I think it was mentioned earlier about they can basically turn on a 2-pence coin.
Yeah.
Like that is exhibit A for that reference, because these karts are so well tuned, so well designed for the handling that they can literally put themselves sideways to get around a corner. Cameron Edmonds takes the latest fastest lap in third place currently.
He's currently under investigation though, I should mention that, from race control. Not too sure what that's for 2 or 3 minutes ago. So
He was there with Hayden Eldridge going, come on, let's go, down towards the first hairpin, because you can see that Eldridge is right on the back of Cresswell. And I think, if anything, Cresswell is kind of going, yo, Cameron, can you go away please, because I want it to be just us. And also just notice that I'm not sure Cameron Edmonds is wearing his own race suit. On the back of it, it says Sturch.
That would make no sense. Yes. We do hope it's Cameron Edmonds and it's not an imposter.
I mean, it's
that's
number
stolen the
57.
transponder. We have to believe that it is Cameron Edmonds. And onto the start-finish then. 3 minutes and 17 on the clock. Cresswell leads the way then in this one. Hayden Eldridge has lost the lead and is no longer sitting out the front with an acre of space of track in front of him. He's got to try and find a way past that TWM machine of Cresswell, but also got to be very careful about Cameron Edmonds on the tail. Keith Burke, the number 54, which is down in P21 at the moment under investigation. What's happening on screen right now?
Sorry, just off screen, I just spotted that Cameron Edmonds got up inside of Hayden Eldridge for second place, just into the first hairpin, just got up alongside him. Simple brake zone, late brake, and took the lead. Took the second place. But also, that massive long train of karts we were following earlier has dispersed. It's now the three. You've got a couple of stragglers with Alex Wiley and Jurovic, because they are just sort of set there. Actually, if anything, Alex Wiley is starting to close up on the leaders quite quickly. What's his last lap time? I'm going to have a quick look. I think this could be quite interesting. So faster than Alistair Cresswell and 3/10 faster than Hayden Eldridge. So he's definitely closing.
Wow.
Up the inside there, though, goes Cameron Edmonds for the race lead, but he's lost out.
If that move had come off, and he's lost out again to Hayden Eldridge, if that move had paid off from Cresswell, I think that probably would have been one of the greatest overtakes I've seen in 2026 so far. How late he left that to flick it onto the inside, get the braking done, and find his way around the corner, which he didn't because he outbraked himself. But if he had got those things together, it would have been a perfect overtake.
Yes, but you can see there that Cresswell was wise to it. He saw him coming and he went, right, I'm going to move out your way, I'm going to let you go deep.
Edmonds,
and then he's going to come back and, I'll take the lead back, thank you very much for that. But yeah, this trio is turned into a quartet with Alex Wiley well and truly part of this group. We have 1 minute remaining of this race, which means we've probably got 3 laps remaining. A 33 of Hayden Eldridge up the inside into hairpin 1, takes the lead of the race. Then we can see Cresswell goes right to the right hand side to try and go around the outside, doesn't make it work. but Hayden Eldridge is wise to it. He positions his car exactly where it needs to go, but they are starting to fight now. They are starting to fight. So what do? Alistair Creswell comes right at the inside, but he can't quite take it, as the 57 Cameron Edmonds is trying to follow him as well. Alex Wiley is just watching. He's sitting behind. He's got his popcorn out. He is enjoying the battle, but he knows he's going to come across the line in just a second, and he's going to see that countdown clock say less than 30 seconds remaining, which means we have got 2 laps of this race left to go. This quartet comes through the bowl for the second to last time. Who is going to come out in front of it after all of this battling? It could be any one of these 4. Who is the first to blink? Hayden Eldridge goes defensive. Alistair Creswell follows him. Cameron Edmonds tries to go around that side. Goes Creswell, but he can't quite make it up the inside. Goes Cameron Edmonds, and trying to go through as well is Alex Wiley. I think Cameron Edmonds has managed to get into second place. Creswell down to third. Alex Wiley is still in fourth position as it stands, with a little over a lap to go.
Get those popcorn emojis in the live chat, because this one, folks, is for prime viewing. Who is going to take the victory here in Senior X30? Because it's all to play for. 1.4 kilometres to go of this PF International circuit, and Eldridge leads the way in the championship. He leads the way in round 3 as well. He wants to work together with Cameron Edmonds, but I don't think Edmonds is going to want to heed those calls. He tries to switch back around up the inside, he then sticks to the outside. Eldridge taking a very straight line there into the Litchfield Bridge. He comes off of it using all of the curb. He goes very defensive now from Cameron Edmonds. He's got Alex Wiley on the scene as well in P3. This could go any way. The gap has closed right up from the defence of Hayden Eldridge. He goes super defensive into hairpin 2. Once again, can he cut under? Is there any opportunity for Hayden Eldridge at the moment to give away this position? It's looking like he's going to hold on to it, looking like he's going to hold on to his championship lead. Edmonds, Wiley, Creswell there in P3. Creswell up to P3. He's made the move onto the podium. Is Eldridge going to hold on to the top step of the podium? He's got 2 corners to go. He's a championship leader, and he still will remain so. Hayden Eldridge takes victory here for Senior X30, and that is how you go from first to first in the rest of this race. He did start second, but you stay first and you stay in the place you want.
That move from Alistair Creswell was fantastic. He just saw Alex Wiley go a little bit wide. When I say wide, I don't mean he went to the edge of the track. I mean he lost maybe half a metre on the apex of the corner there, and that was all the invitation that Alistair Creswell needed to take that position away. It's a shame for Alex Wiley, but that is racing, and here is your final results for the Junior X30 final here of yes, here we go. This is Senior X30. We've got the Junior X30 race results here, so graphics is not quite correct there. But yeah, what a fantastic race that was. That was absolutely entertaining. Oh, we've still got 2 to go. We've got the junior Rotax coming up next, and then the seniors to round out the day.
Yeah, Hayden Eldridge taking victory in that race. Fantastic result from all of our drivers there. Eldridge will be very, very happy about that, maintaining the gap in the championship. Cameron Edmonds, unfortunately, in the end, great battle up there, but not finding the victory. And coming on through, we will get on to our final couple of races in a second. It has completely flown by. We've just had our X30s. They've provided incredible action. Unfortunately, we did have some stoppages with the red flags today, but our marshals here at Paul Fletcher International doing a fantastic job. We're not going to get underway into the next race until one of our competitors out on track. At the moment, it's just finding their way off. I do believe it's the number 60.
We've also got
61.
Rocco Shenton down here being wheeled
number
back.
6. Oh, it's Aaron Brown being wheeled back. Yeah, so yeah, to the left of our commentary box. So just walk in to our left. That was Rock Shenton, who unfortunately had to go off the bridge, didn't he? Go to the side and peel off into the middle of the track, and that was his race done. But whilst we wait for our final 2 races of the day in junior and senior Rotax, if you're watching this action here and you want to be part of it at Trent Valley Kart Club, well, you can be.
Have you ever watched a kart race and felt the excitement, The speed, the competition, the energy, and thought, I'd love to be part of that. Well, here's your chance. Our kart race meetings are powered not just by drivers and teams, but by an incredible group of volunteers who make every race day possible. Without them, the racing simply wouldn't happen. Whether you're a motorsport fan, a parent of a driver, someone looking for experience, or you just enjoy being part of a team, we'd love to have you join us. What can volunteers do? There's a role for everyone. Track marshals, right at the heart of the action, ensuring safety on circuit. Grid and pit lane assistance, helping line up karts and keep the race meetings running smoothly. Scrutineering support, assisting with safety checks. Race control and administration, supporting timing, paperwork and organisation. Event setup and pack down crew, the team that makes it all happen behind the scenes. No prior experience? No problem. We provide training, support and mentoring. All you need is enthusiasm and reliability. Why volunteer? Be part of the thrilling world of kart racing. Learn new skills and gain valuable experience. Meet like-minded people and make great friends. Get close to the action in a safe and structured environment. Support grassroots motorsport and young drivers chasing their dreams. Many top racing drivers started their journey in karting. Our volunteers are part of that story. What's the commitment? You can volunteer for a single event or become a regular member of our team. We run regular race meetings throughout the year and every event needs dedicated people like you. Even a few days a year makes a huge difference. If you'd like to get involved with Trent Valley Kart Club, please speak to us today in the Race Control office or contact us at claire@tvkc.co.uk. Come and be part of the team that makes race day possible. Because when the lights go out and the race begins, it's not just the drivers who make it happen, it's all of us. Thank you, and we hope to welcome you trackside soon.
That's how you can get involved with Trent Valley Kart Club here in Lincolnshire, one of the best karting facilities in the UK, and you're more than welcome to it. So our junior road tax grid looks like this. I'll rattle through it for you. Zach Turner is leading away ahead of Charlie Wolfett, who has been on the top step of the podium a few times around here. Ewan House, Jack Robinson, Charlie Very, Ronnie Smart, Connor Large, Teddy Cooper. What a field of competition out there we're going to see in your top 8. As well as Marcel Popocool, Casper McAllister, Alex Lynn, Alex Shepherd, Hayden Fisher, Logan House, George Fountain and Harrison Bishop down to P16. Oliver Peters, Joe Neal, Oliver Fabricius, James Fabricius, Shay Hilton, Kevin Ivanov, Aaron Berridge and Karthik Kometa. Tobias Johns, Noah Moulton, Jacob Kahn, Stanley Stafford, Ronnie Jones, John Richardson, Lily Shaw, Harry Holland. What can John Richardson do from P30? Isabella Stansmore Wilson and Adam Judatis and Harvey Sargson and Pierce Whitehead come through from the B final. What can they do from the back of the grid? This is going to be a thrilling race, I am sure of it, because our X30 categories have done the same. It's always good for our road tax runners as well. What a field we have in store. Are we going racing here? Yes, we are. And has Zach Turner got the jump on Charlie Wolfett? No, all is a bit pear-shaped in that part of the track, coming through the first couple of corners. And I think that was George Fountain for Jack's Motorsport, getting over the grass there. So unfortunate start for him. Can he use the time though and space behind and any instance in this race to try and get back up into the high parts of the field? Looking like that's going to be a tall order with the huge amount of runners we've got in junior road tax that we have. There's a driver off in the second straight already, doing the pirouette and getting back on level terms. And look at the lead that Zach Turner has already built out for himself. Ewan House's teammate behind Charlie Wolfett in second. And is it going to be a situation in about 8 minutes' time where the two Coles Racing teammates, like they did in that last heat, Ewan House, Zach Turner, they find themselves together? Or is Charlie Wolfett going to say, no, I'm going to take victory in this one. You can put your coals where the sun don't shine?
Well, I'm glad you've said that, because they've let me loose with the live chat and I put a poll in there. So people, place your bets. Who you think is going to win this race? At the moment, 100% of the votes, I think might be one person's voters, but 100% of the votes say that Zach Turner is going to win. So please cast your votes in the chat and see who we can See if we can predict who's going to win. See there, the 226 of Ewan House. It's dropped down to 4th place, if I say that correct.
Oh, Jack Robinson was also getting in on the act, and he wasn't on the scene too long ago. And I think you might possibly be right. No, yes, you're absolutely correct. There you go, Jack Robinson and Ewan House. And as you dust the shoulders off, he's still got it. Ronnie Smart and Marcel Popical down to P6. Alex Lynn 7th. Teddy Cooper, watch out for him. He knows how to win a race around here. Alongside Connor Large, Hayden Fisher. They come across the line. Look at how close they are. All together, going extremely fast. And top speed of these Junior Rotax machines right down into the Bruno Ferrari S's, into the bowl complex. Moves going on all over the place and trying to find the most optimal line across the Litchfield Bridge. Jack Turner is not going to have it all of his own way because Charlie Wolfett dives down the inside, and he must have been expecting that was coming at some point. Oh, gives a little love tap to Charlie Wolfett to get him on his way. A little bump draft on the rear bumper. And Jack Turner's got to be careful. Any driver's got to be careful if they get too close to the driver in front and it hits it with too much force. We know it's an automatic penalty with that nose cone. It cannot be argued. Here's the two teammates together now, though, and this is kind of getting into a situation where if they could take Charlie Wolfett out of the equation of this by, I know that sounds very sinister, like you said earlier, legally take them out of the equation, as we see a 70 runner out of this one.
Who's that?
That's Ronnie Jones for Global Karting. He's right down, as you'd expect, towards the rear of the pack. Yeah, if Zach Turner and Ewan House can get in a position where they can get in front of Charlie Wolfett, one of the drivers can act as a buffer, a stopgap. It's going to be the same as she wrote in the previous races.
Indeed, I'm guessing a relative of Zach, Carly Turner, in the live chat saying, "Come on, Zach." I'm guessing, I thought it might have been the mum.
Was she the one that voted?
Possibly, yes. Yes, so obviously Carly cheering on Zach there very much in the PF plate kart, currently sitting in 2nd place. Zach is in a very good position at the moment, sitting on the back of Charlie Wolfett. He doesn't need to be that aggressive at this stage of the race. He can sit with Charlie, he can sit with Ewan there, and they can just try and work together and pull away from the pack that's behind them, which at the moment they seem to be doing. So for the time being, it doesn't really make sense to start fighting each other, because all they're going to do is bring that pack with them, and that gives them less chance then to end up winning the race. It gives the other drivers more opportunities to overtake them, and well, the racing drivers are going to take the opportunities that come to them.
Charlie Wolfett, though, has got the challenge of all challenges on his hand, because we know how impressive Zach Turner and Ewan House can be out front of a race, and to soak up this pressure at the front of the field is going to be something that needs to be looked at. I was going to say, I was trying to finish there, and there was a yellow flag out on circuit into the 3rd and final sector. Who's out of this one?
Stanley Stafford.
Stanley Stafford for Hunter Motorsport. Not been a great weekend for Hunter Motorsport with their drivers out there running. Unfortunately, let's see if they can bounce back for round 4 even of Trent Valley Kart Cup. We're in round 3 right now, when we're in the Junior Rotax final. At the moment, leading the way in the championship is Teddy Cooper for the Kiddix UK team. He's down in P8 right now. He's 3 seconds off the lead for Charlie Wolfett, who won the last round 2 here of the Trent Valley Kart Club. So it looks like Charlie Wolfett might be extending his championship lead, but not if Zach Turner and Ewan House and Jack Robinson and Ronnie Smart and those behind have got anything to do with it. But now it's a 2-horse race. Ewan House can't keep up with Zach and Charlie out front.
No, but looking behind them though, Jack Robinson, Ronnie Smart and Alex Lynn are starting to close in on Ewan as he pulls away from the front 2. But you can see there, they're just working together, they're starting to build that gap, and the gap now between 3rd and 4th is coming down. It's sitting at around half a second, and just eyeballing it, I think they are now closer to Ewan House than Ewan House is to Zach Turner and Charlie Wolfett. So his best chance now, realistically, is to wait for those 3 to catch him up, and then as a 4, try and catch up to those leading 2. We've got 4 minutes still remaining on the clock, so there's still plenty of time in this race. I'll be inside there trying to go one of the, that's the 158 of McAllister, a bit further back. But yeah, we can see there, Charlie Wolfett is actually starting to pull away a little bit from Zach Turner. 2nd place, only by a small margin, but still, maybe Zach had a bit of an issue in that last sector.
It's a buffer to work with.
Yeah, exactly. It's a buffer.
5-second penalty for Karthik Kometa in P22. Only went up 2 places in this one from the previous start of the race.
Zach Turner there. Charlie Wolfett looking behind him. I think he was trying to say, like, please don't overtake me. Zach Turner literally just went, like put his hand up going, I'm not going to. Like, come on, let's work together. You know, Zach is not new to this. He knows exactly what they need to be doing. Charlie's not new to this, and he knows that Zach at some point is going to turn on him. Yeah. It's just a question of when.
At least it wasn't a different hand signal. You know.
Well, I didn't specify.
No, okay.
But I'm not saying anything. You know, it was a very nice gesture. It was just a case of, come on, we're working together. Let's do this. But anyway, in third place, Jack Robinson, you can see, is in the clutches now of Ronnie Smart. Ronnie Smart working together.
He's shaking his head. He's doing like 60, 70 miles an hour. This is not fast enough.
Yeah.
Come on, Charlie.
Typical racing driver.
Yeah.
It's not fast enough. It never is. I mean, they've got the gap of... Actually, in all fairness, Jack Robinson has closed the gap a bit.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, I mean, it's under a second now to the leader, and it was definitely more than that in before. And these two, nose to tail, but Jack Robinson's going to be on the scene very shortly and throw a bit of Dan Holland Racing into the mix alongside Charlie Wolfett as well.
Yes, I want to see, as they come over the next timing loop, what's the gap between them? Because this is looking a lot closer. Right, so 0.97 currently, but that 4 that is closing in on them is closing quickly. We've got just over 2 minutes remaining. So as they come through the last couple of corners onto the start-finish straight once again, let's see what that gap is, because that is definitely closer now. I think Charlie Wolfett and Zach Turner, I think that's possibly why Zach is shaking his head. There we go, they've just gained another 1/10 of a second in that last sector. So they are definitely closing on Wolfett and Turner now, as the last couple of minutes of this weekend for them starts to come to a close. Down towards the first hairpin we go once again. And to be honest, Jack Robinson seems to have found some pace now. He's been able to sort of hold his own. But look at the timing itself. He is the, let me work this out, the third fastest person in that front group. The current quickest is Ronnie Smart. His last lap was a 58, sorry, his best lap is a 58.2. Ewan House did a 58.3 and Jack Robinson did a 58.37. For reference, Charlie Wolfett and Zach Turner are both in a 58.44 and a 4.5. Look at that gap now as we come down for another lap. Half a second.
Half a second, down 4/10 of a second.
Yeah.
They're definitely working together. Jack Robinson and Zach Turner's like, I've had enough of this, Charlie, you're not going fast enough. He throws it to the inside, but Charlie Wolfett staves off the attack to fight another day. And Jack Robinson now surely smells the opportunity, along with Ronnie Smart and Ewan House in the background now as well. I've seen enough races since I've been commentating here at BF International, which is not too long, to see Ewan House or someone in Ewan House's position coming from the back, even though someone like Zach Turner might go in front there and shuts the door on Charlie Wolfett. Clips some of the front bumper, to be expected, because you try and see the front of the car.
Yeah.
If you're too focused ahead, it's going to sometimes happen.
But also, that was fantastic positioning there from Zach Turner, because what he did, he realised what happened at that first hairpin, and he went, right, I'm not doing that again. So he managed to make sure that he was on the apex still when Charlie Wolfett wanted to get that cutback. And so he managed to block him. Charlie Wolfett is not happy though, because right behind him he's got those charging drivers of Jack Robinson, Ronnie Smart up the inside. He tries to go. Does he get it back? I think he might have got it back. No, he doesn't. Zach Turner is still in the lead.
He's let Robinson in.
Robinson is now come back, so it's now Robinson in second place. Charlie Wolfett has dropped down to third place, and I'm sure Carly in the chat is absolutely loving this. Zach Turner has taken the lead, but look at this hack for the race lead, with literally there is no more seconds left on the clock, which means next lap will be the final lap. There is 6 drivers who can win this junior Rotax final in the TVKC. Oh, this is going to be a good last lap. We can see there Zach Turner is trying to get his concentration in. Jack Robinson, he doesn't want to let this go. Charlie Wolfett, I'm sure, is not very happy about what's just happened. He's dropped from first to third. He wants to get that in. Actually, Jack Robinson has got a warning as well from race control. So here we go, on to the final lap. Zach Turner goes to the right hand side of the track to try and stave off an attack. But here we go, into the ball. We see loads of overtakes. I'm sure we're going to see one. Here we go, round the outside they tried to go, but I think they're just about staying in formation. Into the bridge now. Zach Turner still staying in front of Jack. Oh, Jack in front of Charlie. I think, yeah, was that Ewan, I think, was going slightly wide.
Yeah.
We can see there that on the inside, tries to go Jack Robinson, but that is fantastic there from Charlie Wolfert. He pushed Jack Robinson on the inside, but tried to go around the outside, and he's lost a little bit of time. Coming round the outside now is Ewan House. I don't think he managed to get any position, so, and in all of this, Zach Turner is starting to build a bit of a gap. Look at the gap he's got now. I think that's it. I think that's all he needed to do. Jack Robinson is trying to hold off Charlie Wolfert still. On the inside there goes the 166 of Alex Lynn, but Zach Turner did everything he needed to do. The others got caught up behind him. He drove his own race. He comes home, and look how ecstatic he is. He has earned that. Carly, there we go. You were correct. Zach takes the final win.
Wow. And there's just Zach Turner. I know he has his critics, and he also has his fans.
Yes.
But that just proves why he is revered in the way he is, because he knows how to win a race, he knows how to execute, he knows how to get himself up there into the right position and then hold on to it and then play other teammates, other drivers off of each other. You saw how Wolfert and Robinson were battling each other in the final stages there. Zach Turner at some point was looking back and going, Ewan, where are you, mate? My teammate, I need you here. And he's thinking, oh, whatever, I'll do it myself then.
Yes.
And he did just that. Zach Turner takes another win just like that here in the Trent Valley Kart Club Championship, round 3 for Junior Road Tax.
Carly Turner in the chat, yes, my boy! And also Dirk1285 said, well done, Zach. Zach obviously got his fans out there. Yeah, thank you so much for interacting in the live chat. It obviously does help us keep obviously making this interesting for you. And I mean, actually, we don't make it interesting. The racing makes it interesting. We just try and make it so that there's some commentary to go along with it.
Okay,
but
so we've reached 5 o'clock.
Yes.
We are on to our final race of the day, and then I'll mention what I want to say in just a moment when we get onto our final Senior Road Tax. And what I'd like to say is that just reinforce. What I'd like to say is when we were looking at our weather app earlier on.
Yes.
5 o'clock. Pitter pitter patter 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 of rain.
You say that.
I don't see any.
Not just that though, but when we were looking earlier, it said there was a low likelihood of the rain earlier and a high likelihood of the rain later on. However, when have you ever known weather at a British racetrack to do what is forecast?
Well, there you go. That's what it looks like.
I mean, okay, so I wish we had a camera in comms here so we could show you what we're looking at. But basically, apparently right now, there is a gigantic rain cloud above us.
That's to be fair, that's 7 o'clock. So
That's
they
7
might
o'clock,
just
is it?
miss it.
Okay, so I wonder if we can kind of plead to Luke, our director, to ask one of the camera operators. Actually, the camera operators can hear us. So, camera operators. So we've got Johnny, Tom and Sam out there on circuit who have been doing a fantastic job all day long. Could one of you please point at the sky? Because we want to see these clouds. We want to see if it is in fact correct or if it's telling porkies. So let's see what the crack is with the weather. And we'll wait to have a quick look.
I'm just saying it's a possibility, but I think they might just miss it.
No, I'm calling you bluff.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. So this is Johnny shot actually. Okay, it's clouded. It doesn't look like a proper rain cloud.
There's no chance of meatballs with that. There for the taking.
Anyway, should we go through the grid?
Yeah, let's do the grid, shall we? For our final race of the day.
All right.
Josh Turnbull with George Holbrook there in P2. Brandon Truman, it goes off the second row of the grid alongside Louis Weaver. Albie Lapper, see him fast charging through the grid, I'm sure, in P5. Easton Seng in P6. P7 to Joel Dixon Cohen. Adam Wooden is in P8. Liam Hartley down to James Lowther in P10. P11 is Ethan Martin. Jared Fox-Whiteley down in P12. We're wanting to make a fast charging start up to the front of the grid. Bailey Waters P13. Ollie Goodyear, Lewis Brown and Oliver Walker is in P16. Mikey Walker, Floyd Palmer, Jacob Grunt, Srigas Bravalonis, Joe Gethin, Callum Sims in P22. Watch out for him. I think it's going to be a very exciting race to watch for him. Drew Prizer and Declan Luff. Lloyd Hare, also going to be very excited to see him. Bailey Heath, George Kay, Oscar Schiavec, James Tester, Alex Holgate, Corey Fowler and Joe Yor. P32, Jake Fisher and Freddie Moore, Arthur Brownless and Harvey Quick coming through the B final. How are we going to do for our final race of the day in Senior Rotax? Let's find out who's going to take the crown for this one. We are go very shortly into the tram lines, and we are away here at Trent Valley Kart Club, and into turn 1 takes the lead into Coles Racing. Joshua Turnbull, he has retained the lead and finding it a little bit out of shape as he was trying to find his way through there, and so do some of our other drivers coming into the bowl section there, getting caught up on each other onto the curbs. Hopefully everyone can get going again. It looks like one of the cars is out of action, but we'll try and stick in the meantime on the action on your screen right now. In the midfield, so many positions being traded, left, right and centre. Here's Josh Turnbull defending so hard in this stage of the race. Brandon Truman in P2 now. Who's that? The 69er George Holbrook. He's in 3rd place. He has fallen down a place to 3rd from starting in 2nd. But Josh Turnbull has managed to hold on to his lead in pole position, and just like that, things have changed in an instant. They still wave yellow flags as they're coming round to the start-finish straight, and as they contend with that coming into the first couple of corners.
Yes, indeed. We saw there that Brandon Truman managed to follow Joshua Turnbull through into turn 1, going into 2nd place. There was obviously a bit of an incident. We saw the drivers are out of their cars. They are okay, thankfully. Obviously, I'm sure the ego is a little bit battered and bruised, but they are up and out of their cars, which is the main thing. Which means we can focus on our race. We've got some, I think that's a side pod.
Yeah,
potentially.
That's a bit of debris in the middle of the track there. Hopefully, drivers will be aware of that when they're coming off Mitchell Bridge. They won't collect it too much. It does look like a side pod, or it also looks like kind of like an ice cooler. I have no idea why, it just does from here. I'm sure that will be seen to in just a moment. Josh Turnbull has now got company though from Albie Lapper. Look at Albie Lapper, he's come up through the field from a couple of places back. He's now up into P2, chasing after Josh Turnbull in Coles Racing. Josh Turnbull though already built a 6 or 7 tenths of a gap, 6 tenths of a gap as we cross the start-finish line. Louis Weaver, Joel Dixon-Cohen up there for this one in P4 at the moment, having a much better time of it, making it count when it matters. And Dan Ashton making sure that side pod is off the circuit straight away and getting it off the circuit before our drivers got there. Fantastic marshalling from all of our officials here at Trent Valley Kart Club. And someone going a bit slowly there is our 314. Trying to find
Lewis Brown.
Lewis Brown, he was going pretty slow over Litchfield Bridge. So looking to try and get back into where he wants to be, which might not be high enough in this race, given how many cars, how many karts and how many drivers have gone past him now. It's just one of those things that you have when you fall to the back of the grid. But Albie Lapper is very much in the case here for first place. Josh Turnbull and Fox Whiteley. Look at Fox Whiteley. Fox Whiteley started in 12th place. He's now up to 3rd and he's gained 9. This could be a fast charge from Fox Whiteley and could be the scrap of the century when he closes it up to Joshua Turnbull at the front. So it's Lapper with Josh Turnbull in front of him, then it's Fox Whiteley, then it's Weaver, and then you've got even battles further back here in 7th place. James Lauber, Easton Seng, Brandon Truman and Alan Wood in your top 10.
We've also got Dirk1285 in the live chat replying to our question, who will win the final? Jared Fox Whiteley has gained 7 spots already, so this is before he gained a couple more, and he will go all of the way. So Dirk putting his money there on Jared Fox Whiteley, currently in 2nd place, 0.6 behind Joshua Turnbull.
Jumped up again.
Yes, well, I mean, he's there.
He's on a mission.
Absolutely, and we can't put it past him. Yet that gap has slightly increased, but he's now working with Albie Lapper to try and close that gap a little bit down. There's already been a couple of big movers. Obviously, Jared Fox Whiteley, I think, is the main mover at the moment. We've also got Lloyd Hare, currently in 15th place, up 10 positions.
Yes, he deserves to be further up from his braces today, yeah.
However, the person who has gained the most positions, although Harvey Quick gained 13, we have Freddie Moore, currently in 18th place. He's gained 16 positions so far. Wow. That is an incredible achievement already. So he started right at the very back of the grid, and there's no reason, if he's gained 16, he can't gain another 16 more. So, come on, Freddie, we want to see it.
Well, we have seen it happen. We have seen victories from way back of the rear of the grid. It is definitely possible, but is it going to be possible here in this senior Rotax final, the final race of the day? 5 minutes plus 1 lap to go, and it's all to play for out there for Josh Turnbull. He's got it in the bag though at the moment, 0.8 of a second. Fox Whiteley trying to change that. Albie Lapper also trying to follow through. A dive down the inside there. The 210 of Eaton Singh on Joel Dixon Cohen throws it in the inside into P7, so moves going on all around the grid right now, and even up in the lead though. Josh Turnbull, an impressive display out there. We know how quick Jared Fox Whiteley is, and he's building even more of a gap incrementally all the time, bit by bit. It's now 0.8 of a second. We'll see what the gap is coming across the start-finish line, but it looks like he's eked a bit more of a gap out there. He has, albeit 300ths of a second, but it's getting closer towards 0.8 of a second now. Josh Turnbull slowly but surely building out that gap and not wasting any time or a moment in this race. Charlie Wolfit. That was the previous race. I'm on about senior Rotax now.
Got the wrong bit of paper in front of you.
George Holbrook, is leading this race in the championship. He's not leading this one yet, but he is in P5. If he wants to lead this race, he's got some work to do. 3.3 seconds, and might seem a bit of a world away at the moment.
Yeah, Jared Fox Whiteley is starting to close up again now. He's got the benefit of having Albie Lapper and Louis Weaver right behind him. They're working together slightly, and that gap to Joshua Turnbull is starting to come down. So it was 0.8 of a second, it's now at 0.6 of a second. It's a 3.14. Who is that?
Lewis Brown is out.
Brown.
Yeah, we had a bit of an issue on the bridge earlier, and it looks like he's out completely from this one. His car just didn't want to play ball. Fox Whiteley, as talking of the gap getting bigger, he has responded. He's brought the gap down by roughly a tenth, I would say, on that lap, or in that sector even, to Josh Turnbull. So it's really not over yet. There's 3 minutes to go plus a lap, and it's all to play for in the rest of the field too. We have to keep an eye on our other runners. Lloyd Hare up into P10 now. Callum Sims up to P16, starting further down the order as well. Make that P15 he's just gone for. And this battle on your screen right now between Lowther for P6 and also Dixon Cohen. I think that was Holbrook involved possibly in there, diving back around the outside. Was Brandon Truman on Lloyd Hare. He's fallen back down, and at the front of this field there is Lloyd Hare then at the front of this pack. Coming into the Mike Wilson complex, and there's your race leader, Josh Turnbull. This gap definitely coming down all the time. Look at Lapper and Whiteley working together in second and third. Is it going to come good? Is the strategy going to play out in time with 2 minutes on the clock plus 1 lap? It'll all to be seen as Holbrook comes through your screen there for P5 and P6. There's Holbrook. There's the gap back to 6th in Dixon Cohen and Eason Seng. And then there is Lloyd Hare and Truman. Lloyd Hare in front of Truman, 8th and 9th now. Lowther in P10. They come into the second hairpin on your shot right now. Josh Turnbull and Fox Whiteley, the gap is coming down all the more. 4/10 of a second. It's coming down all the time.
It is absolutely. I think Joshua Turnbull has done so well to keep the gap for as long as he has done. Exactly, that's the big thing. Jared Fox Whiteley and Albie Lapper are working together, and have only just started to make those gains. And in fact, Jared Fox Whiteley has just gained another 10.5 over them through that last sector. So on the straight where they're gaining, Joshua Turnbull though seems to be so strong in the corners. I do wonder though, is he overexerting his tyres? I've only got a minute left, so if he is, and he's still got this pace, he's probably okay. Albie Lapper sets the current fastest lap of the race, but they are definitely closer. We can see it out of our commentary box window as they come towards second hairpin at the moment. They are getting closer and closer. This battle, meanwhile, is a lot closer at the moment. We've got the number 91 on the inside of the 55. That is Drew Priestner against Ollie Goodyear. So they're fighting for
P17.
P17, thank you for that. Yes, meanwhile, at the front, let's have a quick look. So that gap, I think, is gained again Let's follow them over the line, see where they are. So they'll have 2 more laps remaining going over here. So yeah, he's gained just a little bit. So he's doing everything he needs to do at the moment. These differences are incremental. They are so small. But if he can just keep doing it, if as long as he loses, like, even just a 10th a lap, that's fine. He's got enough time for it.
It's a big difference for Ethan Seng at the moment because he's just received a 5-second penalty, although Fox Whiteley has closed right in as well. So Ethan Seng is in P7. We'll concentrate on the front of this race, though. As you see Lloyd Hare coming through on your screen. Let's try and pick up with our leaders. Josh Turnbull, Fox Whiteley and Lapper all within 7/10 of each other. There they are. There is Turnbull. There's Fox Whiteley. He is ready to pounce, but so is Lapper. Lapper would fancy P2 here, wouldn't he? Some valuable points in the championship, a Trent Valley Kart Club Championship. It's the final lap of round 3 today. It's the Senior Rotax final. Who's going to take this win? Josh Turnbull can just hold on for a bit longer. He has got this one in the bag, but Fox Whiteley will use every single ounce of ability and grip underneath him in that Senior Rotax machine. He'll use Lapper to work together as well, as much as they want to, and it looks like Josh Turnbull has just about got the run on, and Lapper can sense that now. He's thinking that it's off the cards. The win is in for the taking here for Josh Turnbull, who's drove a stellar race for Coles Racing, leading at the front once again in Senior Rotax, and it looks like Fox Whiteley wants to chase after. Albie Lapper's pointing into the lead to try and chase after Turnbull, but I think that gap is way too big now to try and chase down. It's a second. Look how much. It's half a second from that battling. Our final winner this weekend for Josh Turnbull in Senior Rotax. He's going to come across the line and take victory, and that is how you do it and own a pole to victory win round PF International, and he showed us how it's done.
There is literally nothing more that he could have done there.
Nope.
He led, like you say, lights to flag. That's all he needed to do. The gaps that he lost were incremental. The times that he gained were incremental. He didn't push too hard. There was literally nothing you could fault him for there. That was absolutely spot on perfection.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That's how you stay composed. You don't get spooked from behind.
Yeah.
You soak up the pressure, and Charlie Wolfett tried to do that in the junior Rotax. Unfortunately, he had Zach Turner behind him.
Yes.
Josh Turnbull could hold off Jared Fox Whiteley though in this one, behind Albie Lapper, who takes the podium for this one. Louis Weaver, George Holbrook in 5th place, and I'm not too sure how that affects the championship, but he is leading the championship at the moment in 5th. He might have enough points to hold on, but we'll see the standings, of course, after the weekend is over and all totted up. Lloyd Hare in the end, recovering to P6. Good performance from him. P7, Joel Dixon-Cohen bouncing back from not finishing in round 2. P7 will be, I'm sure, pretty happy for him for Tour de Motorsport. Ethan Seng's got the 5-second penalty. That'll drop him down. Brandon Truman, James Lowther, Mikey Walker, Liam Hartley, Ethan Martin and Callum Sims. Fantastic recovery up to P14, where he started 8 places down in P22. Drew Preisner, Ollie Goodyear, Harvey Quick, Bailey Waters, Freddie Moore, Rodriguez Pravalonis, Corey Fowler, Declan Luff, Adam Wood and Jake Fisher, Bailey Heath, Oscar Schuerbeck and Arthur Brownless, who came through in that B final, not unfortunately being able to make up the progress, alongside Jacob Grun, Oliver Walker and Lloyd Palmer and Lewis Brown, who went towards the back of the grid and unfortunately didn't finish. Well, talking of finishing, there we are. That has been another instalment of Trent Valley Kart Club, brought to you by SlipStream, powered by Alpha Live, and a big thank you to all of our Alpha Live crew out there, the cameramen, the camera women, the camera people, everyone getting involved with Alpha Live's production today, including Kieran here in the commentary box alongside me as well. It's been a great weekend, isn't it?
It has. The racing has been fantastic as ever. You know, in a way, I'm kind of sad that we didn't get a little bit more rain to kind of spice things up a little bit.
That's what we were hoping.
But on the flip side of that, I don't think it really needed spicing up, because we had so much action, so much entertainment. Every single driver put on an absolute show for us. It was absolutely fantastic. And like you say, you know, the Alpha Live crew out on track currently have done a fantastic job. We've got Johnny Morris down at turn 1. We've got Thomas down at the first hairpin, and then we've got Sam down at the Michael Wilson complex as well. And we've also got Luke Woodford, our wonderful producer, literally sat about a metre from us, currently putting his thumbs up to us. Thank you very much for all the hard work for everyone throughout the day. And also thank you to you, Jake, for like keeping our ears entertained and engrossing us throughout the day, throughout the season so far. Yes,
and
indeed.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. Round 4 for the Trent Valley Kart Club Championship is on the 4th to the 5th of July. It's the first Sunday of every month. It is the last one before Kart Masters, so it's going to be an interesting one to see who's arriving here for the championship to get a bit of practice in before they take on Kart Masters in August. It's Jay Peach here, bringing you live coverage today and commentary. A big thank you to all the Alpha Live team and Kieran alongside me. This has been an Alpha Live production. We will see you very soon for the next time.